Hey there, this is Heimdall's Watch, brought to you by Isolated City Gaming. This episode is brought to you by the $6.30 we found stuck between the couch cushions. Now, on with the show.
Yeah. Okay. So, what have we done?
We just finished talking to the
High Matron.
That's
High
right.
Matron.
Yep. High Matron
Freya's.
at Freya's
Freya's.
temple.
She gave us the medical records
Yep.
for Jethrin Jarlson.
Totally willingly, and she does not at all regret any of her choices.
You might be reading into that a lot.
She rebuffed my efforts to blackmail the church into helping us build a case for foul play, which I feel was a mistake.
I mean,
on
she
her
is a
part.
professional woman, and
Yeah, and I'm a
she has a duty.
I'm a pretty good blackmailer.
You want to try again?
Yes.
You want to pop back in and...
Nah, that's fine. Just do this the old-fashioned way, and then we were leaving to look for a big tree.
Yes.
Big tree.
Big tree.
Big tree.
Yes.
Big tree.
And this week, due to illness, the role of
Hannah.
Hannah, I
Hannah.
was waiting for the cough as well, is going to be played by a silent chair.
That or Hannah and Kez have gone off on their own adventure.
That's actually pretty much my plan. This is going to be a
Kez drags Hannah back to the temple.
You've been peering at my notes.
I try.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys have...
The two wizards are off on a magical adventure.
You're not a wizard.
I'm as much a wizard as you.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
We're wizards.
I love this bit every single time it happens. It makes me laugh. Yeah,
We both studied so long for this.
What are you talking about? I'm a wizard.
you both got books, you both cast spells, both functionally wizards.
Exactly.
It's fucking bullshit.
Just because someone is cutting in on your whole jam.
Look, I mean, if you wanna play your little songs and call yourself a wizard, then
I do.
well, don't stop it.
Stop it, Hobbit.
Come on, let's go to wizard school.
Yeah, you guys have left the High Matron's office, and
And now we look for the biggest tree.
yeah,
I
and
asked
this
the
is
nurse
how
where
I
the biggest
have
tree is.
Hannah disappear. Is Kez basically just like grabs her by the shoulder and is like, "Miss, we are required back at Heimdall's church. The captain needs to see you."
Do you want to take the file with you?
I imagine Hannah would respond in, okay, no need to be all pushy about it. Just like, that was my goiter. That was my goiter impression.
That's where she was heading back anyway.
Flawless.
Right.
Perfect.
And yeah, rather
We have some errands to run, so here's the file to take with you
yep.
for safekeeping.
And with that, Hannah has reluctantly stepped out of this room.
With the tail.
Yeah, mostly just going to ride her out for this session, and
There goes our tank
What a
and main DPS.
coincidence.
It'll be fine. We'll be fine. Like, nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, that was our combat one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
oh boy, have I got some combat encounters for you two.
Oh,
I just need 1 minute.
Oh, jeez.
just Leland, you just got to hold that one there for
Hold them off
for 10 rounds
For 10 rounds.
while I cast this one spell. Yeah, it's a healing spell.
Okay, let me just cast a spell. Dimension door away.
Gone. But yeah,
Yes. So, we find the nearest nurse, orderly person,
yep.
priestess, to find where the biggest tree is.
The
The biggest tree in the garden.
Well, outside in the gardens? It's not in the hallway.
We know it's not in the hallway. Come on.
But, like, we're on the grounds.
it's a reasonable question.
We don't have all night. Do you know what time of night this is?
And she's like,
'Cause I don't.
looking. Sorry,
Because I don't.
'Cause I don't. She's pulls like a little like a fob watch off her
That's
like
convenient.
a small pocket and is like looking at it like, just before 7.
PM?
Yes.
Oh, it's earlier than I thought. That's convenient.
That means just before this, Leland got a very serious day drunk going on.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
We went to
Okay. Yeah.
2
No.
separate
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But we got you, alert, and
Yeah. This is
we
great.
woke you up.
It's going to be fine. If we were looking for a tree, what could go wrong?
You got to climb it and then fall out of it and then break your arm. Oh man, I'm having flashbacks from childhood. Minus the day drinking part.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, yes, minus the day drinking parts.
Do we need to talk about some things, right? No. Okay.
It's
Okay.
okay, the cameras are off. You can speak freely.
Yeah, it's just between you and me and the internet, and they're cool.
No one picks on anyone on the internet.
No, it's fine. It's fine. They're cool.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
It's okay, no one listens to this.
Nobody will break the confidential seal of podcast listener. It's the thing. It's a
That
holy...
involves admitting you listen to the podcast. No one's gonna do that.
Also, you're assuming someone's ever going to listen to this.
There's
Like,
been
I can't reveal my dark secrets on the podcast. Well, all the people listening will know.
And if it does get out, someone listen.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
This is the test, yeah.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
It's like,
Clickbait.
Admit to crimes. That's what you should do.
no, it's just like admitting different aspects of a crime to different people and then see which one gets out in the wild.
Like in that Game of Thrones show.
Yes.
Yes.
Have a different one in each episode and see what.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make people.
Yeah, see
have
which
to
of your
listen
crimes
to.
is trending. That'll be good.
Okay. This
We're trying to work out where on the grounds. just to get
escorts you out
our
the out to the front doors of the actual church building.
So is it dark out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you can still sort of see the hint of the glow from sunset
Yes.
off in the west, but aside from that, sun's down and
Dusk.
the lamp lighters have done their jobs and this place is aglow,
Aw.
but it's still early evening really.
That's quite nice.
Let's
Let's have a stroll through the gardens.
Well, looking through the gardens, you can see like there are essentially like small lanterns up through most of the larger trees.
I like this.
This place it almost looks like a field of like stars or fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
All the way through the gardens, just like all these little paper lanterns all placed around the place. It's
Glad
actually
we finally got some alone time together.
Look, I gotta...
No, let's just find the tree. Let's find the tree.
Poppet and Leland looking for a tree.
I'm kind of seeing someone right now. I don't know. This is kind of awkward.
As soon you turn around and just see like this minor image of Leland disappear. It's like, shut up.
To the tree.
To the tree. Well, walking around the grounds, and the grounds are quite expansive.
Lovely.
There are sections of the herb gardens and so forth for the alchemy and apothecary supplies.
We don't have a nice place like this at the Temple of Heimdall.
You don't.
Yeah.
We could get
It is
one.
rather functional.
I think I saw
for
Hannah with
Heimdall.
some pot plants.
I don't want to know what she's doing with those pot plants.
I don't know what's going on there. That's a whole thing I never expected to
It's a
see.
druid thing. You wouldn't understand.
Drow druid is just a it's a thing I just said.
No thing of mushrooms.
Sorry,
Be into mushrooms.
Really into the mushies.
right?
Yeah.
But,
Mosses.
doesn't take
Spiders.
too long to sort of start coming around the western side of the building, and those lanterns, you start seeing them just getting higher and higher and higher until you see basically almost like another like galaxy of stars.
Yeah.
Spread out in a massive canopy.
That's the one.
Well, that'll be a pretty good guess.
I'll
Take it.
I guess it's pretty big. As
I'll-
far as trees go.
Oh, I guess
Roll
wisdom.
nature?
I rolled a 10.
Actually, nature works. Yeah.
Nature. I got a 12.
Even the biggest tree you've seen.
Well, all right, sure.
And
For
you
trees.
hung out in the forest for at least a couple of days.
Yeah, but he was high most of the time.
I mean, that's fine, but Leland's not acting impressed over a tree.
That's big.
It's big. I suppose if you're
I've
into
seen
trees,
bigger.
That's a lot of matchsticks.
yeah, could I don't know, you could fall on somebody, and I don't know.
He doesn't know how to do trees.
I don't look. I'm a city half elf. This is a like an elf thing. I'm not really into it.
I'm not an elf.
You're not an elf, jeez.
But yes.
He's more like North Pole elf.
Sounds like a helper.
Yeah.
It's perfect, we'll take it.
As you get closer and closer to this tree, you see like this one person just sort of belaying down the side of the tree. Clipped to their hip is a small like a lantern, just with a
Just
candle
lighting
going.
them.
They're just sort of coming down the tree after having lit all the lanterns up.
They
in
have
the...
to do that every night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably use magic or something.
I mean,
They
it'd
could.
be
This
easier,
one didn't.
right? I mean, we can all do that.
Yeah.
And this one gets down to the ground level, sort of undoes the rope and harness and everything that's around their waist, and then sort of starts along the path and coming past you guys as like nods and
Nod back.
evening.
Hi. Evening.
Pleasant
Keep
night.
walking.
Oh, fair enough.
Apparently, we don't talk to lamplighters. That's fine.
We have a job to do.
Yeah.
We have a quest.
You can be cordial, is all I'm saying.
I did, I nodded.
Well, all right.
You're looking at this.
Is it big enough for me to go through?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
This is. It would take you probably a good minute or so to walk around the base of the trunk, just at a walking pace. This is
At my walking pace?
maybe like 45 seconds
Okay.
for your walking pace.
You're very impressive
Monks.
walking pace.
It's all I've got. It's my one stat. Let me have it.
It's got little legs and they move real quick. But
Little legs, but they go real fast.
so it's got a hefty trunk to this thing, and you actually sort of strain your neck looking up into the canopy from its base. Like it is a long way up.
Oh no, things don't go that high. That's not real.
But it almost looks unreal as you're standing underneath it, looking up. You would just say those lanterns are just stars in the sky. They are
Yep.
so
Distant,
incredibly
so
far up.
unreachable.
Look, I'm not really examining how we didn't notice this tree before in the many times we've flown around the city.
We've had other things to look for.
All right. And trees. Who
Like-
cares about trees?
Stone angels trying to kill us, or you know.
Yeah, no, all right, that's fair.
or flying at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Leland doesn't care about trees. He's not impressed right now.
Looking over the trunk, the bark is sort of like blackened and gnarled over like just centuries of growth, and it has been burnt from at least once.
So
But
far.
then, well, here's hoping. I guess let's go for the second or third time. Who knows? But you can see that like it's been through hard times. It's currently not in hard times. It's looking healthy, but it's showing the sort of scars of what is quite a significant
long
life.
Yes. Okay, come on.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Just come on.
This is a big tree. You said you needed to find a big tree.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on before. Why are we here?
I pull out my coin.
Mm-hmm.
Come on up. We walk up to the tree.
Yep.
Motion for Leland to come right up to the tree.
All right. Is
I-
it like a slot or something? Do you got to like turn a little?
Let's find
little
out.
Crank.
Try to push the coin into the tree.
Okay. You sort of put like you're putting it against the flat edge, or you're putting it in like
The
a
side,
slot?
like a slot, like you'd.
Okay. You put the coin up
Like I'm
against
playing the slots. Put it in, pull down a branch.
Ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding.
apple. No, you put the coin against the bark, and then it gives sort of like a lot of a tension to it at first, and then just sort of you push ever so slightly. We're not forceful or anything, but you sort of push through the surface of the bark, and you just see like the faintest like green light around the edge of where the coin is, which then just sort of like extends from the top and the bottom all the way down to the ground, and then a good 7-8 feet up.
Oh, we don't need that. Half that. Come on.
And then the bark just sort of like encroaching in on itself and like pulling it in, and then slowly sort of like just pull, like it's a set of curtains being pulled in from the inside. You can just see like the edge of the bark just like curling on the inside. And there's just, if you had head, you do like as this thing pulls open, you just feel like there's like a warm summery breeze coming out of this this sort of unlit hole in the side of the tree. And
Just
it's like
streaming through those luscious
your hair
locks,
just like pushes back ever so slightly. It's like I said, like a midsummer's breeze.
Come on.
Wait, what's in here again?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Tiefling told me to do it. Come on.
Oh, Tiefling told you to do it. That's great. They're known for their not being devils. Yeah, I'm sure this will be
Exactly.
fine. Let's go.
It was fine. They played a violin or something.
Cello.
Cello.
Yeah. All right. Well, Leland
We're off to see the
gingerly
wizard,
steps
the Wizard
into
of Oz.
the magical tree.
Yeah, and
And then Puppet turns around and walks away.
that's a serious wrap on me.
Oh,
That's how you get rid of a warlock. You bury him in a tree.
all right. Well,
No.
that's cool. I
Off
guess.
we go. We're in this together. Come on. We don't have a magical night in the Freya's gardens without following your partner into a tree.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Don't you know?
If I had a nickel for every time somebody told me that,
It's a common idiom.
Or every time
Yeah.
you've done that, you know.
something's a common idiom.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, stepping on through this gap. You're going first, were you?
Sure. I
Sure.
guess. Yep. I guess.
We'll probably together on me first. I don't know.
Hey,
fine,
why
you
don't
can
you
go
go in first instead of trying to trick me into going into the tree?
Sure. Yes.
Feel a little self-conscious.
I'll
A
lead the
little
way.
bit scared. There's a little bit of pee in his pants.
I lead the way.
All right. So you're stepping on through first, and you walk in and you just feel like there's a slight incline, almost stairs, but it's more
Upstairs.
of a downstairs.
Oh, good. Okay.
I said incline. Should have said decline.
This is all a slight decline.
And
Excuse us while we have a brief phone break.
stepping down, you just sort of feel that sort of warm breeze. It's almost like a summery day in like an open field sort of feel. Like you get the light brushing, and every now and then there's the cooler part of the breeze as it's like passing across grasses, and you get that scent of like pollen and just like grass coming through. But you don't have any sensation of anything visual around you.
Just darkness.
Just darkness as you're sort of stepping down, but it doesn't feel like...
Can I see Leland behind me, or is it just darkness?
You can see Leland behind you.
Okay, cool.
And as you look back, you can sort of see the opening in the tree that's behind you as you're stepping down. You can see like the
That's comforting that it's still open.
well, as you're sort of looking back, you sort of start seeing it start to close up behind you.
No.
Can
Too
I
late now.
see anything with my dark vision?
Looking around, what you can see is, if you're looking at like the hollow of a log, that's you look like looking around. You look like
we're inside a tree?
It's like you're inside a big tree.
Chance
No,
of
I was
that.
wondering if this was like reminding me of the weird void-like plane that like the librarian dreams were in. The way you were describing it was similar, and I'm like, oh no.
The
Well, it was
infinite
very very
abyss.
dark, but this is significantly warm. Which is that the librarian's place is not.
Oh.
It is quite distinctly not warm,
Not warm.
not freezing, but a distinct lack of warmth.
And
Yeah.
substantially less tentacles.
Well, okay, that's a start.
What?
Hold on.
Hold that thought.
I said less. I didn't
Yeah.
say none.
What you could really say is like the roots of a tree are very much like the tentacles of
Just
an animal,
warmer.
and yes,
I don't know what's going on right now.
I don't either anymore.
Can we just get through this bloody tree, Ryan?
Yeah, sure. Okay. As the last of the opening that you stepped through closes up, you start seeing a light,
At the end of the tunnel?
basically at the
Go
far
towards
end.
the light. I always heard you should go towards the light.
See, I've heard the opposite of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Hmm.
What should we do?
We'll throw a coin.
Okay. Oh, wait, no, I've lost my coin.
Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Okay. As you're getting closer and closer to this, you start hearing the sounds of like birds chirping in sunshine. And you can actually hear the sound of like breeze through the long grasses, and through trees. And soon you sort of just see like this large. It'd be about the width of like 3 like sturdy humans, like side to side. This opening, and you sort of step down and into this open clearing, like forest clearing. Sun's up above your head. You can see the you can hear. Well, you can now see what you could hear before of just like the breeze just washing through like this long grass. We're talking about probably about waist high on Leland. That's how high this grass is.
Oh, God.
Ahead of you. Also, this clearing area sort of extends for about half a mile each side of you. Up ahead of you, about 100 yards or so, there is just a forest that is just like almost like a wall of forest, just out of nowhere. Breaks from the clearing that you're within. And the trees up ahead are like tall oaks and pines, and with a sort of like a mossy sort of undergrowth underneath. You can only sort of see maybe a few meters in before just like the thickness of the thicket just obscures any vision beyond that.
Interesting.
Off to your left in the far distance, you can see this herd of like grazing animals going through the grasslands. Every now and then, just like a head pops up, and then sort of goes back down again. And
That wasn't a regular staircase that we just went
Was
down.
it?
Well, it's daytime down here, and it was
True.
it was night. Look, it was nighttime at the top of the stairs, and it's
I assume portals.
we went. Yeah, was that similar in any way to like the portals that we like ley line through?
you didn't get any distinct feeling of like rapid movement. Like you were walking at
literally-
your walking pace and pop out at the next location.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We might need another wizard.
Can you roll me a Constitution check?
No, I can't. Con saving throw or check?
Check,
Wait,
please.
so what does that?
That's a saving throw.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
That's an 8.
You
Die.
no, that's not hard. You feel
Die.
sort of, you feel uneasy in this space.
Awesome.
Like, just everything feels
Maybe
a
I
little.
shouldn't listen to tieflings.
I mean, that's good advice.
It is. It's good. It's good advice for staying alive.
Sort of racist, but okay.
But no, you feel sort of like the ground's
Although as
moving beneath
halfling,
you.
am I half a tiefling?
It's a little bit motion sicknessy you're,
Not how that works.
Okay, sorry.
you're feeling a little motion sick sort of feeling. Like you feel like the ground under your feet is just like moving ever so slightly, not perceptibly enough to sort of work out if it's going a particular direction, but it just feels like it's not steady under your feet. You feel like the breeze is, I don't know, it feels like it's blowing in two directions at the same time. And like the sunlight just seems brighter than even the most sort of midsummer day.
We really should have brought Hannah.
She would love this. Do I need to make a constitution check?
You don't seem to notice anything different whatsoever. Like,
Do you feel that?
This seems like apart from the fact it is an underground location, as far as you're concerned, an underground location that's now daylight. Where
It's pretty weird.
Where there shouldn't be a sun underground, and it shouldn't be sun when it's nighttime.
Yeah, there's clearly something going on here, but no, it's fine.
You don't feel that?
No, feel fine.
Feels off. Maybe I shouldn't have had all that beer.
I mean, I drank at least twice as much as you, and I'm
Yeah, but you're like a seasoned
Sobering.
veteran.
sobering up. What if there's a bar down here? Hey, let's find a bar down here. It'll
Okay.
take the edge off whatever you're feeling right now.
Sure.
I
I mean, there's nothing in those directions, so the thicket,
You're telling this
that
story.
dense dark thicket ahead of us.
Yeah, it seems. Why not? I don't even know why we're here. I still don't know why
Tiefling-
we're here.
Oh, Tiefling told me to do it.
But why?
I don't know.
Okay, you really need to be clear on.
They gave me a coin and told me to put it in the tree.
But why?
Because we made sweet music together.
That was, honestly, that's
I
pretty
mean-
much everything.
I mean, maybe you shouldn't have brought me along then. It might just be like third wheeling onto
Sometimes
this.
you need a powerful wizard.
Yeah, it seems like it might be a private thing between you and your tiefling. I don't know.
I just thought it seemed magical. You're the magical one.
could-
Private moment
this
between you and your
could-
tiefling just sounds like a pseudonym,
could get
pseudonym for masturbation, really, doesn't it?
This could get really awkward, is what I'm saying. Like,
It's okay.
It's
I
like,
can turn
hey,
around.
Poppet, and you.
yeah, I
He's my +1. I mean, it's kind of too late now.
yeah, it is. Let's keep going.
Thank you for doing this with me.
No, it's fine.
To the
I
thicket.
always wanted to travel into it. Can I is there like a check I can see to figure out if I'm like familiar with where we might be or where we went through? Some kind
Arcana
of
for
arcana.
portals.
Either Arcana or Nature. Your call, really.
Oh, just arcana check. That's a +6. I will guidance this business.
Have you ever read anything about this?
The guidance probably helps.
Yeah, not really.
Well,
That's
it did
a-
add one to it.
did add one to it. That's a 10.
Every point. Hey, that's double digits.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do. I'm sure Ryan's terribly impressed with the 10 that I got.
Your history, though, you've been in Gesserit basically most of your life, haven't you?
Born and raised
Born and raised.
on the streets, on the mean
Excellent.
streets of Gezerect. One
Yeah,
step
this is-
ahead of the lawman. One swing ahead of the sword.
That's all we can do before Disney sues.
I was only stealing what I can't afford. And that was
That's
everything. It's just Aladdin. I only know the ones from Aladdin. It's fine.
Copyright breach. Copyright breach.
That was fair use. I'm sure that was parody.
Oh, nope. I don't think the Disney attorneys will agree.
I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll be cool with it. They're laid back dudes.
Not litigious at all. Yeah, this seems a weird forest underground.
Never been to this neighborhood before.
Neither have I.
Yeah. Let's check out
Something new.
that forest.
Let's check out the forest.
As you're looking around, though, you're sort of, like I said, like thicket in front of you, clearing either side of you, and as you're sort of like trying to get your bearings, you turn around and there is this clearing for like another sort of good half a mile behind you, and you've got no sensation or no idea where you entered this space, there's no opening, there's no doorway, there's no obvious ingress point.
This is one of those fucking bullshit magical spaces where the door disappears behind you, Poppet.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Well, okay. Just I'm feeling a little bit trapped, a little bit like sprung into some kind of magical.
I mean, we've always got the ley lines.
That's a good point. I'm sure that isn't going to be disastrous if we try and open up one here. Let's keep going.
Exactly.
Only way up is through.
Off we go. Marching jauntily to the forest.
Jauntily
To the
forest.
thicket.
To the thicket.
To the thickest thicket.
Okay. As you approach, if you can give me, both of you, give me a perception roll just to...
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one.
16.
I got a 20.
I defer to Leyland.
Okay, so as
Leland.
you're approaching closer to the thicket, you can't see much further than sort of maybe 3 meters maximum into the forest. The whole floor of this thicket is basically like just a carpet of moss. Every now and then, sort of punctuated with like little mushrooms and funguses sort of popping up.
I'm nature checking the mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's 13.
13. As they get closer and closer to like the actual clearing edge, they start to get a little more sparse. Just because mushrooms tend to be dark things, dark space things.
Yeah,
not light space things.
I'm sure
Why
that's
am I
I'm
struggling?
sure that's the proper term for it. I'm sure that was just exactly scientific name right. Nailed the first time. Dark things.
Dark things, not light space things.
Dark things. Space things.
I've got no.
You're doing great, right?
I'm doing fine. Great would be a stretch. As you sort of start peering a little bit further in, you start seeing that there's just more and more of these mushrooms and funguses appearing,
Do they look poisonous?
potentially. Like, these are not the sort of ones you sort of see on in your breakfast plate. So
I can't do anything about poison.
Cool.
good to know. What you do notice that some of the clusters are starting to sort of
Do they have faces?
like,
Eat me. Eat me.
I'm not poisonous. Eat me.
there's two mushrooms. One of them says it'll always tell the truth. The other one will always lie. One of them is poisonous. No, that's not the puzzle I'm doing. It's a bad puzzle that everyone knows the solution for.
Like I was. Yeah. Okay. there's also like a whole Mario space we could go on into. You know, we've gone down into another kingdom that's brightly lit, and it could be like
And the next one's on
angry
There
angry
is
faces on
actually
the
a large
mushrooms. walking
pipe
towards
over
us.
to the left.
Yeah, turtles.
But you start seeing that like some of the clusters are beginning to form into like these just like partial circles. And
It's weird.
a little bit.
Yeah.
As you get right to the edge of the thicket, you spot the tiefling gentleman,
Oh.
sort of stepping out of the
That's handy.
the gloom of the.
This is the tiefling. Hi. Hello. Hi.
You took your time.
I had a couple of things to do. Sorry. Work.
I'm sorry if I'm like intruding on like a situation. I can go if you just point me at like the way back out. I can just leave you guys to it.
Tiefling, this is my workmate Leland. Leland, this is Tiefling.
I mean, hi. I'm assuming your name's not Tiefling. That's
No.
weirdly reductive if it was.
Zitzkill.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Because I'm tired.
And Zitzkill.
Zit Skittle.
Zitskittle. Got it.
Not skittle, skill.
Zit Skeel.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, of the New Hampshire skills.
Now we get copyright breach from
Sorry.
from Penny Arcade. But no, of course you're more than welcome to follow along.
Wunderbar.
Yeah,
Are
okay.
you a patron of the arts?
Well,
You do have some very fine tastes.
I do have fine taste. You know, I don't know. Yeah, no.
We didn't have you tagged for one of the scholarships programs, but if you're interested in
He is a powerful wizard.
I'm a powerful wizard.
oh, well,
Okay.
do
Well,
demonstrate.
all right. Just if
I didn't know we were. I feel so underprepared.
well, I will make myself look exactly like Zitskizzle, disguising myself. That hurt.
I broke my thumb, snapping my fingers.
Like
actually snapped my fingers.
something went twang. That wasn't good.
I like to think that was actually Leland.
Welcome to your post-30s. Oh no.
I have to put some ice on that. Yeah, disguise myself as Zitskizzle.
Zitskill?
He sort of looks it over and does like a full circle around you, and then sort of stops in front, and then just like starts like not a little golf clap, but just like a nice like congratulatory sort of thing, and then just like with like a little puff of like sparks, like two miniature versions of him sort of pop up on each shoulder, and they're both just like,
Cool.
and then he's just like. And they just sort of flit away back into the nothingness that they came from. So, performance too. Well,
Like I think like Leland will like deeply like theatrically bow when he's getting an applause. Just like,
is it a bow or a dab?
well, look, I'm sitting down. You can't
It's
bow when
very
you're
hard to
sitting
bow
down.
to it sitting down.
You can do both.
You just end up headbutting the table.
And I just broke my thumb clicking, so I'm not
I'm not
not
gonna
risking anything
I'm
else.
not going to tempt fate on this one. But Master Halfling.
Yes. Zitskill?
Why did I pick a really hard name to say?
Zitskittle.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, my turn?
Well, no. This is where we, I guess, test your eagerness and capacity to be chosen for the school.
I mean, I've always been called too eager.
Well, let's see how that works out for you. So for your first challenge, I guess will be, prove yourself a friend to the Guardians of the Gates to gain entry. And with that, he sort of just like bows with both hands out extended to the side and just sort of walks backwards in and disappears into the gloom.
Where do I find the Guardians of the Gates? Would they be ahead?
I don't really see any gates, let alone guardians of said gates. So, what kind of magical powers have I got to
I
sort of help?
regret using all my stats on you.
Sorry?
I regret using all my stuff on you.
He used some of his abilities and now he's got nothing left.
Oh, the thing where you like cast a horrifyingly damaging spell on my face. Yeah. I regret you doing that too.
I mean, I assume we're just walking into the forest. I mean, he went into the forest. Presumably, he was going in the direction.
Hey, he walked
we were
backwards.
going into.
He's so confident with his ability to walk through the forest, he didn't even look where he was going.
Are there any like tracks through the forest, like a little path?
Roll
or-
survival.
Oh, guidance this. Ooh. Wait, roll. Some stuff. This is much easier on the iPad. 21.
21.
21.
Okay. You can see sort of on the edge of the thicket there are a couple of sort of game trails that go that sort of run along the edge of it. And you sort of see a couple of ones that sort of dig a little bit deeper, but then you can sort of see where they sort of curl back around and then come back out into the opening. Nothing seems to be like going much deeper than maybe 5 meters or so.
Shall we?
Sure. Like, what could go wrong? I'm going to detect magic.
Yep.
What do I see?
Okay.
Lots.
I've got to look at the full things you can see with detect magic.
A lot of auras. Auras just swirling colors.
It's beautiful.
It's made of stars. Okay. You get the sense there is a shitload of illusion magic all the way ahead of you.
So none of this is real. It's all the Matrix.
Yes,
Awesome.
See a black cat walk past and then another black cat walk past exactly the same way.
It's weird. It's deja vu.
In we go.
Yes, head forwards.
Whilst as we walk, I'm going to pull out the satyr's panpipes.
Yep.
And I want to start playing them. And I want to play something joyful and fun with a mind towards charming.
Okay. You're leading?
Yes.
Roll me survival.
Survival.
Yes,
Awesome.
please.
Where are my stats?
I'm imagining through all this, he's like very enthusiastic and forward, and
26.
Leland is just sort of like following behind us. Why am I even here?
26.
Yes.
Holy balls. Okay.
It's a good
You
one.
start sort of like marching what you feel like is like just like dead straight into the into the forest. And you know, you feel like the darkness start to sort of encroach all the way around you. You look behind, you can no longer see. There was the charm roll. There was a save or something on the
It's a DC 13 to avoid being charmed.
Okay. And
Wisdom.
you guys are walking for about half an hour to
Satyrs
45
can't be
minutes.
charmed.
Can't be.
Satyrs can't be affected by it.
That's specifically as part of the. Yeah.
And creatures that can't be charmed.
But yeah, you guys are walking for about like half an hour to 45 minutes, and just up ahead you start seeing like the light of just like a clearing or some sort of
Cool.
grotto.
The other side of...
And walk on through and pop out into a clearing, and then off into you can see like ahead of you about half a mile to a mile of like just like a sea of grass. Off to your right, you can see, and left is about another half a mile each way.
Just like in the original spot.
And off on your right hand side, you see this herd of about a dozen or so grazing animals, just sort of picking away, and you can see like crushed down grass.
Yeah.
Just maybe about 2 meters off to your right.
Yeah.
That look like a few people sort of walking into the forest.
Say a half elf and a halfling.
That could be a guess.
Interesting.
Wait, what happened?
You walk
I think
straight.
we're back where we started.
And with your survival roll that you rolled there with a 26, you
Those
are
are my tracks.
fairly certain that you went as straight a line as possible.
Yep.
Didn't feel like you veered off or changed direction, but you have walked in one side and popped out. Well, you would figure the same side.
Yeah.
I've played this game
That
before. You
didn't
got to
work.
go one screen up, one screen left, one screen up, one screen right.
Dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I start jumping up.
Yep.
Yeah, now I get the Master Sword. Okay.
Interesting.
We're gonna die here.
Friend to the Guardians of
You look off to your left and you just see this bleached skeleton. It's got a...
Oh no.
On it, it's got, you know, in its hand, it's got this sapphire. No, I'm just trying to describe Leland as a desiccated corpse.
What's the
I'm a
plan?
little confused.
While he's thinking this over, if Leland can roll me a perception check.
Prove a friend to the Guardians of
I rolled a
Gates.
20.
Natural 20.
I rolled a natural 20.
You're looking at Poppet as he's sort of like scratching his chin and like scratching the top of his head and then looking quizzically up at the sky and then trying to work out how he got off this path. You sort of hear from the forest. You just hear the sound of this like creaking timbers.
I'll wander off and
Carry
investigate.
the 3.
Poppers has got the algebra popping up around him. He's just that meme. So, heading back on in. And
Yeah, I definitely feel like I should wander off in this moment.
you.
Can I follow him? Do I notice him wander off, or am I just lost in?
Well, you're sort of sitting there trying to work out where you went wrong, and then Leland's, well, at this point, either frustrated or bored.
Bored.
Fair.
I guess it was going to be one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has started to like wander off into the forest because it seems like he's, noticed something.
I'll scramble after him.
Okay.
What could have gone wrong?
Don't know. I went straight.
Like cautiously stepping in. What's your movements?
Gingerly stepping towards the creaking timbers.
Yep. I won't make you re-roll that yet because you did roll a 20, so this is going to give you a little bit.
Boom shakalaka.
I will get you to roll a survival to go along with it though.
Can I guidance that?
Yeah, I can.
It's a 2, 13, 14.
Okay.
My D4. The numbers are really hard to see.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. Stepping on in, you see one of these game trails, and it's one of the ones that you guys spotted before, but you can sort of see like one of the sort of the grand oaks that make up the sort of the larger trees on the edge of the thicket, like it's sort of splaying roots at the base. A couple of them have just sort of grown over this game trail, like you can see where they just like encroached over it, where you're almost certain they weren't there like that before.
Hey, public, climb this tree.
I climbed the tree.
Roll athletics.
How can you...
15.
When you say, oh, you're a fucking monk. Athletics should be your jam.
I have a 15.
Okay, that's all good.
It's a strength stat.
You start scrambling up this tree, and get up to the sort of the first boughs of, on it, and sort of perch yourself up there, and you're looking around, and you can sort of see Leland down the ground, sort of looking up at you, trying to work out what the fuck is going on. Roll me perception while you're up there.
20.
20.
Non-natural.
You
Unnaturally 20.
naturally 20.
It's like a clothing store, right? Yeah,
Like Forever 21.
you're sort of peering around, you're looking at Leland, and then you sort of just see, as you're looking down on the ground, like, again, one of those clusters of roots just sort of like move forward, almost like they lifted out of the ground and moved maybe another 2 or 3 feet forwards.
Hey, the trees are moving.
Leland, what you see is the whole like canopy of that tree just sort of like rustle. You hear a couple of birds just like
Fuck, it's a polar bear.
oh fuck. I was not expecting a Lost reference.
Always expect a Lost reference.
But, and yeah, a couple of acorns fall and sort of like hit the ground. It's almost like heavy rain, just hitting the ground, and the bow or the bow that you're standing on is just sort of like starts to creak and groan and move around, and it's basically like sweeping you around over the top of Leland and then sort of back around towards the tree.
Yeah.
And this is pretty quick movement for a tree.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, any movement's pretty quick for a tree.
yeah.
Yeah. They're usually pretty slow.
Yeah. And this what are you doing, sorry?
Poppets addresses the tree. Hello, Mr. Tree. My name is Perrin Hilltopple, and I'd like to come to school, please.
That's so adorable. That's so good. You're about maybe 4 or 5 feet away from the main trunk of this tree, and then you can just see like within the lines of the bark, a couple of openings up where these eyes sort of open up, and
Oh, hi.
these eyelids of like cracks in the bark open up, and inside like the eyeballs are essentially made of like polished acorns.
Yep. Poppet bows.
Beneath that, there's just like this craggy sort of looking mouth opens up, just like in cracks in there, and it's just this slow sort of rumbling that is like.
Hi.
That's really easy to do. But
Nice
there's
to
a
meet
cold
you.
voice going on.
My name's Perrin.
Is it?
Hi. I am interested in coming to school.
How you reacted to this, by the way?
I mean, it's not the weirdest tree you've been in today.
Fucking talking trees now. We're talking to trees now. First we're talking to tieflings, now we're talking to trees. I don't really look. Whatever. So I'm rolling with it. Sup, tree?
Yeah, every time you sort of talk to this, there's a constant sort of like low rumbling. It's almost like every minute-long sound is almost like one letter out of a word that they're saying. It's things don't happen quickly.
Yes.
When you're a tree.
Yes.
Roll a perception though.
Oh, okay.
Halflings
17.
I'm making you work for your perception today.
halflings making friends with a talking tree. There's some fucking Lord of the Rings shit going on up in this bitch.
It's tree beard. Maybe a good sort of 6 or so feet above where you're at the moment, like the larger part of the canopy. You just see like this flittering image. Just basically, it's kind of like dragonfly wings. It's they're gossamer sort of wings. It's just like flit through the air, and then it's just like darts down and like stops maybe 6 inches in front of your face. And there's this 4 wings, 4 gossamer wings on a sort of like a wide, like sharp teeth face, like a very, very rounded face, sort of elvish look if you sort of like squash them down and then rounded them out a little bit, and then sort of like again like the very, very like sharp teeth look, and this is like flittering in front of your face. Is like, you're not going to get anywhere quickly talking to this one. You'll be stuck here for years, just having a discussion about the weather.
I mean, I got time.
Not
It's
time
pretty
for this
sunny.
one. This one here is going to be talking your ear off for decades.
Oh, should I speak to you?
If you want anything done, yeah.
Hi, my name's Perrin Hilltopple.
Perrin.
Perrin.
And you've
I was.
gained entry then?
Yes, I was given the coin and told to come here. And
Well, that got you here, but have you
Yes,
gained
it-
entry to the school yet?
No. Apparently, I have to prove myself a friend to the Guardians of the Gates. Are these the Guardians of the Gates? I'm a little confused. I don't normally have to do the thinking.
You're a doer then.
A doer?
If you're not a thinker, you're a doer.
Yes.
Well,
I do stuff.
yeah. Do it. Do things.
Okay.
Become a friend.
Interesting.
Not to me, though. I'm just... You have to grace yourself to the Guardians.
Who are the Guardians? Is the tree the Guardian?
No, this is Barkley. Why did I speak Barkley? That was a fucking awful name.
Barkley's a good name for a tree.
It's a good name for a tree.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
He doesn't fake the funk on a nasty dunk.
So I'm under a...
The gatekeepers, the guardians. You got
Yes.
to sweet talk them, treat them well. They'll let you in.
But who are they?
Well, if you don't know that, how are you meant to know anything about this place? How'd you even get here?
I played music with the Tiefling. And they told me to come here.
He's testing you, is he?
Maybe?
You got invited here by the Vice? Well.
His name was Zitskill.
Well. You must have been impressed.
I mean,
Well, now,
okay.
you wouldn't want to disappoint him.
Then I take out another instrument. Where's my list of instruments?
Don't waste your time with me. Don't waste your time with Barkley. We was just...
Well, he backed into the forest.
Well, we went back to the school.
Oh, where's the school?
In the forest. You gotta get through the Guardians.
This forest or that forest?
Same one.
Okay, so it's all one forest. So I'm in the forest.
Can I hear all this from down the bottom of the tree? I'll
You
tell.
can definitely hear his part of it. The other part of it, you may just hear those sort of... I can't do high-pitched
Yep.
voices.
Yeah.
Just make a little face.
I'll telepathically just say to Poppet, ask where the Guardians are.
Where are the Guardians?
Look in the rings.
In the rings. Oh, the mushrooms.
Yes.
Oh, see, that makes sense. Okay, I need to pop down. Well, I'll climb down.
That would be the quicker option. If you wait for this guy to do it, you'll be dead before you
Oh,
hit the
he
ground.
seems swell. Thank you,
he's-
Barkley.
And you just hear this...
So, what was your name?
Don't you worry about that. We'll get there.
Okay, thank you. I climb down.
And he just like flits off.
I mean, this is clearly all like a Fey realm, right?
Oh yeah, shit.
That's not even like Okay.
I'm not trying to mask that. It's just
Yeah.
you did the whole thing of like, do I recognize this at all? And you've never really been in the Fae,
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
and that's why he's feeling uneasy.
Yep. No, I got that.
Your
okay.
Fae ancestry.
I just need to go down to the ring of mushrooms.
You know that whole thing about like not trusting Fey creatures is like a good policy to keep for a
Oh, is that a
reason.
fake creature?
Like,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So I think
What about Barkley?
I think everything here is going to be a Fey creature. I'm a little confused about the tiefling. They're not generally Fey creatures, but like
Oh,
I mean,
it's okay. He's the vice.
It's a vice. It's an elf thing. It's an elf thing, right?
So you think
It's like half my thing. It's
half
my
your thing?
Yeah, half
Okay,
my thing.
Kennan's thing.
No. I want to be clear. Not Hana's thing. That's a different kind of elf thing.
Oh,
I think Hana might burst into flames if she came here. Just be on your like. Okay. I know your whole sort of sort of scheme, your whole sort of like
I have a scheme.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Modus operandi.
Yeah, you're a very like trusting and naive type. These fake creatures, they'll swindle your pants off if you give them like an inch. Just don't. Just,
That's okay. I get these free from the temple.
Yeah, no, but they might take all.
They're like requisitioned. It's fine. That's my uniform.
Cool. Just be careful. Just be careful around the fake creatures because they're tricky.
Oh, they're swell.
And that's
Let's
what
find some mushrooms.
That's what I'm talking about. Shit like that. That's what's going to get you killed around here.
I mean, I haven't died yet.
All right, let's look for some mushrooms then. I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right. Looking around.
Yeah.
Can you roll me a perception?
I can do that. 9 out of 12.
12.
I think it's 12.
You start to make a step forward, and you just sort of feel like the foot that you're leading with just like pulls slightly, and sort of stop yourself in time and look down, and you can see that like your boots laces have been like tied together.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's this fey nonsense.
It's a little cute.
I'll untie my shoelaces. Oh, and I'll double knot them back together. Not standing for this. This is not okay. I'm a mighty wizard.
I like this place. Let's find some mushrooms.
All right. Who's looking for? Or if you're both looking for mushrooms,
Yes.
both roll me survival.
Natural 20.
Well, I got a good roll as well, but it wasn't a
But it's not
natural
as good as a natural 20.
Yeah.
Which is plus your whatever survival is.
7.
It's 27. Oh boy.
Dang,
boy.
See, I put it on all the valuable stats like survival and not perception.
I put all the valuable things when we're playing mostly an urban setting. It was like survival. Fuck yeah! I'm gonna know my way through a forest in this city. Well, I guess that worked out.
I mean, wisdom works for a
Yeah.
monk
Yeah,
type
yeah.
character. So.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
With that roll, doesn't take very long to actually find a complete and like
Ring of mushies.
a perfect circle of mushrooms.
Wunderbar.
And yeah, it's sort of of varying sizes, but like the actual circle is the perimeter is probably about 4. The diameter is probably about 4 feet. In the center it's moss all the way through. In the center there is just like the slightest little divot in the moss.
Yeah.
Probably only about 8, 10, maybe 12 inches across.
Mm-hmm.
Just like divoted within the moss.
Interesting. Hi, my name's Perrin Hilltopple, and I'm here at the invitation of Zitskil. And then I want to play an instrument for them. I'll play the flute, because I'm...
You know, you're talking to mushrooms right now.
I mean, I just finished chatting with the tree. Have you met Barkley? He's lovely.
Look, I caught the Barkley stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, I mean, that's the talking tree. This is mushrooms. Are they
You
talking?
never know.
Look, here's a good policy that I find. Just look, like just some free Leland advice. I'm giving you some Leland wisdom this time around. It's okay. Only talk to plants if they talk to you first.
But then how will they know you want to talk to them?
Look,
I don't know if you've spent much time in the Fey realm.
sure, all right. Like, let's roll with that. Yeah, just ignore my well spun Leland wisdom. It's fine. I wasn't like making myself vulnerable right now and trying to help. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
The
Just keep talking to your fucking mushrooms. I don't care.
So what do you do?
I was gonna play the flute.
Okay. Well, what sort of thing are you doing?
I was told to do something, so I'm doing something.
You're doing something. Tell me what you're doing.
Why don't you get inside the ring?
Inside the ring?
Yeah. Don't be a pussy.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. I
What?
go to step into the ring.
Okay. You when you step inside,
Yes.
as you sort of pass the threshold of this ring, you just sort of like see Leland just sort of fade out as this completely disappear.
Yeah.
From your perception, you see Poppet just gone. Like he just stepped through like some sort of invisible wall and is now just gone from sight.
That's weird.
Interesting.
What you see sort of around your feet now, in that sort of that moss bed
Divot.
is it's now it's more like a flowering, like a low-lying flowering plant rather than just moss. In the center there is this wooden bowl where you can see in that divot. The bowl is empty, but yeah, it's a wooden bowl, probably about 3 inches deep. And about 10 inches wide. It's very, very shallow concave.
Interesting. Do I put money in the bowl?
What do you want to put in the bowl?
What do I have?
Do you want to study the bowl? What do you want to do?
Where is a hat?
Study the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Can this is
This is just the door puzzle.
I put gold in the bowl?
Okay.
I look at the bowl quizzically first, and then I tentatively put gold in the bowl.
How is that functionally any different to what you just did anyway?
In case anyone is observing.
Okay, fair. You put this gold coin in, sort of just drop it in like carefully, but it sort of hits there and then sort of bounces around a little bit in the bowl for longer than you'd expect for a coin to just be bouncing against against wood, and then just sort of like ding, 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 and then like a popcorn kernel popping, is like poof, jumps up into the air and then sort of lands. Well, bounces off the top of your head, and then what you see is this single gold coin just go out of nothing and land at your feet.
I picked that up. I put it in my bag.
What about trusting nothing in the Fae? Like, well, when it gives you a gold coin, well, fuck yeah, that's right.
That's just free money. I'd be dumb not to.
I'm so confused. There's a bowl. Oh, maybe I perform with my flute. Just to see if that does anything.
Okay, just a general performance?
Yeah.
Not any other particular spell things? I'm just asking, seeing if you're doing one of the charm abilities or anything like that, or whether you're just doing a
at
performance
first, just a regular
performance roll.
basic
Good,
normal.
please.
No, that was bad. 18.
It's still pretty good.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, you start like just on a flute, panpipes. What were you playing?
Just a normal flute.
Just a normal flute. You start playing a tune, and from Leland's perspective, you sort of hear the sort of haunting tune, like it's coming through like a long distance through the forest.
I'm sure that's comforting.
It's just sort of bouncing off all the heavy timbers of the trees, and yeah, it feels like it's coming from all directions, just the way the acoustics are working in this place. What you do see is, as you're playing this, there's sort of an older of the same sort of creature that was talking with you within Barclay. Just sort of appears out of nowhere, just sort of sitting on the edge of one of the larger toadstools around in this mushroom ring, and just sort of sits there, just like swaying slightly. And when you stop, it's just like just sort of looks at you, just like a blank look on its face, is looking up in your direction, and just like disappears back out of sight again.
Interesting. Okay, I will switch to the Satyr's panpipes and try the charming DC 13 save. Wisdom. Is that another performance roll, I assume?
Yeah.
29.
Okay. You see this one's just like again, sort of like appears, just sort of rocking side to side. and so this time just sort of stays and sort of looks at you and it's looking you in the eye a little more like warmly, but then just sort of like waves like a hand expectantly at the bowl, and then just sort of flits up in the air and just sort of just on the outside of that.
But I can't
wall.
put things in the bowl because they bounce back out.
You on the outside briefly see that there's all just like a flash of fluttering, which then just sort of vanishes again. And you hear this sort of creaking sound, and just like the sounds of Barkley just like.
What's up, Barkley? Ain't it the truth?
I'm enjoying doing that sound. Sorry, this is really quite.
Yeah.
It's doing a thing to my lungs right now.
It's cleaning up your whole sinus area.
Oh yeah.
Just figure out the puzzle.
Figure out the puzzle.
Do I put the panpipes in the bowl?
You can put your panpipes in the bowl.
I put my panpipes
Is that
in
a
the
metaphor?
bowl. The satyr's panpipes go into the bowl.
Okay.
I place it gently.
You place them in gently, and they just sort of like rock backwards and forwards, like they're sort of sitting, sort of slightly suspended in liquid, and then just sort of slosh out the side.
Yep.
And just drop onto the ground.
So that's a no. So confusing. Okay. I will go back to the flute and play it again, and this time use my enthralling. Well, it has to have an audience to use the enthralling performance, so I have to play it and wait till something appears and then switch into the enthralling performance.
You can
'Cause it needs
start the
target-
performance.
Choose 3 creatures that watch or listen to you perform to use it. So it's an after.
Start the performance and see
You
what
might
happens.
want to save that to when you're actually inside the
I
college.
know,
though.
because I can only use it once. So it's... I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just do it, whatever. That was terrible. 14.
All right, you sort of like start tooting away, and this is not as elegant as your previous one, and then partway through, just like you feel like this sharp knock on the side of the panpipes, this acorn because like flies out of nowhere. It's like tonk.
That's a no. I stop and look over in that direction.
In the direction that you're sort of looking at, just blank space.
Nothing.
At one point, you just sort of see a little bit of Barkley, just like moving,
Okay.
and like he's slowly sort of like gesturing towards someone that you can't see.
Hey, roll investigation and see if you can figure it out.
Can I do that?
What do you plan to investigate?
If you're stuck, that's an option that you
It's
have.
an option. Yeah, look, investigate things. It's a thing you can do.
Investigate the bowl.
Oh,
3.
okay. You,
Trying to help, man.
you sort of,
Investigation is my strong stat. I'm a police officer.
so you pick up the bowl, and you what you do see in like looking across the surface, like you can see like a stain line all the way around the sort of
Okay.
inner perimeter, like it's had liquid in it before.
I pour water in it.
Okay. So you pour water into it, and just place it back down, and the water is just like you place it down, you watch it, and the water just like rocking back and forwards just as you've put it down as it tries to settle, and then just like someone with like a full human sized hand is just like scooped and like just across onto the moss.
Nope.
At a point, you hear this this voice just disembodied. It's a similar sort of voice to the one you just heard from before. It's like, first time,
Yes?
right?
I'm a little confused.
But you got here with the coin, right?
Yes. That went into the tree.
All right. Don't tell anyone. But I'll give you a hint. But if I give you a hint, you got to pay double.
Okay.
Is that a deal?
Depends what the cost is.
The deal is if you take the hint, you pay double.
But I don't know if I can pay double because I don't know what I'm paying with.
Do you want the hint?
Is this a spiky blue haired worm talking right now?
Come on in and meet the missus. Would have gone straight to the castle. I want to do a labyrinth one, but I've got a plan for it. It is not this day. I've got that. I've got one in my brain that's been going since I started this story. I've got a dungeon in my head that's been like a big part of this.
It was one of the ones I plotted for, or had in mind for the Empire City thing as well. It's going to be like a Mr. Mixelplix thing, but like with David Bowie.
Well, I mean, like, logically, worst comes to worst, I can just kill the thing.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's great though. It's fucking great.
Okay.
All right. You need to make an offering.
Yeah.
An acceptable offering. You need the liquid of life in both its forms.
Water and blood?
Kinda.
Liquid of life.
Think of the givers of life. That'll be my hint.
The givers of life. I'm so confused.
Go one step further. Think about who gave you life.
Parents.
Think about that.
Am I sacrificing my parents? No, that can't be it.
I did that long ago.
I mean, I said
You were part right before.
blood. Because blood is
That
the
is-
liquid of life. In a way.
That is of the father.
And what's of the mother if the blood is of the father? The mother is what the Is this really obvious?
I don't know if it's obvious. After the hints, yeah, no.
The flesh? No.
May have to go back to those grazing animals outside.
I'll be 1 second. I need to
Take your
phone a
time.
friend. I'm not normally the thinker.
It's right.
I have other
You have
people for the thinker.
Plenty of time. You've got so much time you don't even know about it.
Yeah, we're trapped
That
here.
makes
We're trapped
sense.
here forever. We're never getting out.
Can I pop my head out?
Yes, you can, because that's what you see. Is just this disembodied head appear in the middle of the like, hello.
What are the two liquids of life?
Ah.
Think of the mother and the father, or
I mean,
I'm a little stumped.
I mean-
I think blood.
like milk?
I don't have any milk.
I mean, there was some grazing animals out in the field back there.
Oh,
I mean,
we can milk the animals.
sure.
I pop back in.
Ross is just like, sure. We're going to roleplay milking cows. All right.
What role is that?
I'm sorry.
Performance?
Performance?
Deception?
Cool.
Sleight of hand?
Persuasion? There's a lot of things going on.
I have no idea. I'm very confused right now.
Someone who makes tea all the time. I'm surprised you don't have some long life milk in your pack there.
I don't think Fae folk will go for UHT milk.
So I'm just gonna pop back in and tell the guy I just gotta step out for a moment.
Who are you even talking to?
He's helping me, don't tell anyone.
But who are... You should probably figure out who you're talking to. Fae folk.
Oh yeah, you talked to me about this, didn't you?
We did. We just went over this.
I popped back in. Sorry, what was your name?
Don't worry about that. We'll get to that later.
Come on, you don't even know what it is.
I mean, it's like the other one.
Is it?
I checked back
You
in,
only
checked,
heard a
popped
voice.
back
You
out.
didn't actually see what was talking to you.
At one point,
No.
it was, as you see, like an older version of what he talked to
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't clear whether that was what was talking or not.
I mean, they're a
Mostly
bit
because
older,
in my
but-
head it was a little
The little word with the blue mohawk.
All right. So we're going to milking some fucking cows now. That's what we're doing.
I think so.
All right. It's not the weirdest thing I've done today.
I don't know.
So yeah, okay.
So we're off to milk those cattle because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure this is it.
The liquids of life.
Yeah. That's fine. What's weird about this? Can we milk these cows? Is this a thing that is reasonable to expect?
Tell me how you're doing this.
Just walk up to a cow. Have you got your
Ring
flying
of
carpet?
animal friendship.
There you go. You're equipped for this task.
He is straight up equipped for this task.
Make friends with the fucking cow.
I would like to
This
use
one might
animal
not try and kill
friendship
us.
on the most docile looking
As you
Cow
get closer,
closest to us.
they from a distance they do look like sort of like a
bovine.
bovine-esque. Like you see them in a sort of hulking
Is it
form.
not?
They are quadrupedal. They've got large horns and everything like that. As you get closer up, rather than
I'm a male halfling. I don't think I produce milk. I need something else.
Actually, male halflings do produce milk. That's a well-known fact.
Well, that's a lot easier. Why did we just do this?
Why are you? Why? That's why I was very quick to make sure I steered him on the path of the life fluid from the father is definitely blood. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I
Do
was
not do
trying to
this.
avoid
Don't
other
do
things.
this thing.
I thought there was a minute there where I'm like, really?
I got halfway through doing this puzzle and I went, oh no, if they get this wrong, it's going to be poisonous radio.
I've been trying to avoid that.
So, roll sleight of hand.
You're doing this, Ryan. Jesus. Anyway.
Gross.
So speak to us of these animals we're about to milk
Okay, as you get sort of closer, rather
because
than
of you.
rather than sort of like looking at the hair and hide of of what would normally be like a cow, these things here look more like a sort of a yak, but the hair is like sort of longer, but it's made of like long grass that's sort of fallen down like hair. The horns you can see from a distance are actually rather than horn, they look like they're made out of like timber.
It's a wood cows.
Wood cows.
Like some of the ones you see like patches of like yellow daffodils and everything like not
Nature
daffodils,
cows.
dandelions, like flowering through their coverings.
Do they look like they have udders?
That would be below the grass line.
I'm below the grass line.
Yeah, which makes spotting this a lot easier unless you want to like get on someone's back or like ride around like Yoda.
I mean, I could ride around like Yoda. We could do this.
No.
I'm not your Luke and you're not my Yoda.
Okay.
Hashtag not my Yoda.
Now we'll see what's trending.
I attempt to animal friendship the closest one.
Sure thing.
It has a DC 13 save.
Oh, it's the best time for a classic Ryan roll. I rolled a 9 total.
Oh, thank God. It is now my friend.
So as you sort of approach and start to sort of twist the animal friendship ring on your finger, you see this sort of things like backing away a little bit sketchingly because it sees a 5'8" something half elf approaching and probably not in a way that it's used to. No matter what you decided to do, it was definitely not going to be the way it's used to being approached. So it's a little bit skittish, and then all of a sudden it just feels like this calming sensation, and it feels like there's definitely friends nearby,
Excellent.
possibly somewhere within the grass. You don't know. Quickly, grab his boobs.
Okay, then I go up to it. Hi, I'm Pear.
Why'd you say
Perrin.
his?
I said it.
Oh, I thought you said his. Quick, grab his boobs.
It's milking time.
You maybe should have made sure that the one that you were using the ring on was actually a lady cow.
But we're about to find out.
Lady wood cow.
I go up to the cow.
Roll me a d6, just for shits and giggles. 1 to 3 is a good result.
3.
Now I decide which one I think is the good result. No, you sort of approach and you can see like there is a it looks like the sort of the base of like a poppy thing when it's close to the end of its flowering, where it's like they've got the sort of the green bulbous section at the bottom where you would normally get like the opiate milk out of a poppy. It's that sort of thing. It's swollen, but it's also got like this a few stems coming out of it. That basically does resemble sort of another shape.
Yes.
You can just sort of see like the pinpoints of a little bit of like a white fluid at the ends of these stalks. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you roll anything to milk a cow.
Yes.
No matter how weird this cow is, it's milking a cow.
I milk the cow.
You milk the cow.
I'll get a water skin filled up with that as well. Just while we're here.
May as well.
Just while we're here.
All right.
This isn't something we often come across.
Do you milk the cow or do you make me do it?
I make you do it.
Okay, that's fair.
He's
That's
not
reasonable.
Gonna touch it. This
I'm
is
not
weird.
I'm not touching a weird cow.
Oh, it's fine.
Doing anything with it? You just sort of cork in the water skin and then.
I'll smell it.
Okay, you know the smell of like the dandelion milk. It's got that sort of it's like cut grass, but a little bit sort of not vinegary. It's sort of it's got that sort of smell to it, but still like it's been mixed with cow's milk.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit on my finger and taste it.
Tastes
Make
pretty
a
much
constitution check.
No, it tastes pretty much how you expect it. It's got a sort of a sharp sensation on your tongue, but still sort of that creaminess of milk.
Cool.
Fine.
Nifty.
Cool.
Back we go.
All right.
All right, heading back on in.
It's a weird fucking puzzle, man. It's a weird puzzle. just saying.
I don't know.
I wish he did better on the investigation roll on the bowl, because there's a lot of information there, but he rolled a 2 on the dice, or a 3 on the dice, and it was like, well, you got bupkis.
Yep. Just
Rolls.
rolls.
Yep.
All right, there. You make it back there, and tell me how you do.
I step back into the circle. And I fill the thing with milk.
Yep.
And nothing happens. I need 2
This
liquids.
is here.
And the other liquid, I cut myself.
Mm-hmm.
And put some let some blood drip in.
How much?
How much blood? Well, I need to do twice. Because I agreed to do twice as much. I don't know how one measures their own blood when they're trying to bleed out into a bowl. How much did the thingy fill it?
That's why I'm asking how much you put in.
The line that was marked in it, how high was that on the bowl?
About halfway up.
Okay, so...
It's a lot of blood, man. It's a lot of blood.
I'm a halfling, I have plenty.
I don't think you know how volume works.
I don't know how big this bowl is.
I've described it. We could work out the actual volume if I wanted to do that math, but it's about 10 inches across and 4 inches deep. That's a bit of a reasonable amount of blood.
Yes, that would be.
Mind you, you've half filled it with half filled it with some milk.
Probably basically pretend to be twice as much, so up to that previous liquid level that it had marked in the thing, because then that would be at least twice as much of the
Yep.
milk.
Just start putting drops of blood in there and see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just drop 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, 5 drop, 6 drop. Just basically keep squeezing droplets of blood in until it's happy.
Okay, you get to 10
10
drops, and you just hear the sound of those sort of.
But I made a deal to do twice as much, so can I add another 10?
Sure.
Yes.
You just hear the sound like the flittering wings, and you just see like this. Again, that older version of the creature you saw before, just sort of like flit back into sight and sort of step down on the ground and trot its way over to the bowl. It pulls this tiny little sort of wooden goblet out of a pouch and just like scoops a little bit out of the thing and just like drinks it and like.
Would now be a good time to mention my bloodborne viruses.
Boy. The hepatitis.
No. Sorry, continue.
This is tasting as like.
Tastes like sea.
It's a different flavour. I'm used to. Well, I guess more local produce.
I think I'm a ways from home. It was night time at home, so I think I'm a ways from.
I get that, and he's just sort of like this little guy is only standing maybe 4 or 5 inches tall, so he's only maybe like a head above the bowl as it stands, and he sort of just like reaches out a hand, like grabs one side of the bowl, like picks it up, and just like upends it into this goblet, which is only like the size of like half the size of a thimble, and just like pours it. And it all just disappears into this cup.
That's a good cup.
And he just like sits there and just like chugs away at this stuff and is like, and just got this little like smile on one side of his
Milk mustache.
just got this like just a contented little smile on his face. He just sort of sits. It just takes like 2 or 3 steps back and just like plops down onto the
Toadstool.
not onto the toadstool. He's just sort of down onto the ground, just flicks his legs out in front of him and sort of leans back, puts both hands behind his head and just leans back on the sort of the trunk of one of these mushrooms. It's like gives out a bit of a belch and it's like, oh.
So you've now told your name and given your blood to like a fey creature. You want to sign over power of attorney to them next?
I'm pretty sure that's already done.
It's not a great plan. It's not a great plan.
You haven't seen this. You're not here.
I'm not. This is out of character.
And he sort of holds up his goblet.
What's the worst that can happen?
Come on. As he like starts swinging the goblet backwards and forwards, like, come on.
Do I play a song now?
Do something entertaining.
I'll take out the pain pipes and do this charming melody. Sure. Performance? 26.
All right, you start, playing through this which one?
Charming, jovial, fun, upbeat.
It is upbeat. It's got a beat you can dance to. And he's just sitting there, just like swinging this little cup backwards and forwards, and every now and then taking another little swig. And he's got this ever increasing little smile across his face, just like more and more of these sharpened teeth you can just see like exposed.
That's a good sign. More teeth.
Every all the sort of the front sort of 4 or 5 sets of teeth is just like little bits of stain of like this sort of pinkish
Blood
pinkish
milk.
fluid. Yeah, it's blood milk.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's getting this sort of lulled look on his face, like he's getting like, well, I guess milk drunk. That's actually a thing. Yeah, he's looking chill.
Blood drunk.
And like, you are a good sort, my
Thank
little
you.
friend. I expect that other half next time you come through.
Okay.
Just so you know. I expect
I
this.
can make more blood.
Just here, eating a cookie, making blood. But yeah,
There's
it's
currently more where that came from.
good to know.
For the moment. At least.
Mr. Hilltopple.
I bow.
Now, welcome to the school. And he sort of waves a hand behind him, and you can sort of see just beyond, like behind him, you see this vast, there's this wide gate.
Mm-hmm.
It's two like oak trees that are sort of four oak trees to each side that is just sort of like stitched themselves together over time to create like this archway between the two. There's timber gates that are down in front of it that are just, you can see through them because it's just like it's timber slats that you can still see through to the other side. Beyond that, you just see these vast halls made of like thatched roof buildings that are sort of like gotten green and mossy over time. Further on down, there is just a massive single oak rising up out of the middle of this courtyard, and in its face, in its trunk, there's like a clock face that has 4 different hands, all moving around in different sequences. And you just see creatures, humanoids, all sorts of things, just moving backwards and forth all around the place.
Yep. Just a tick, I'll get Leland.
Leland doesn't see any of this.
Well, he has to step into the thing.
He's like,
So I poke my head and be like, come on.
as soon as you invite your friend in, he'll see it. Don't you worry about that. As long as you promise to keep up your end of the bargain.
Next time I'm here, you get another.
You fail to do that, you'll owe me.
Understood.
You don't owe me.
I already owe you the other half of
You don't owe me.
Okay. Thank you. I bow.
This 5-inch tall thing is intimidating you right now.
I'll fucking go you. I know where you make your blood.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I invite Leland.
Yeah, so this disembodied head pops out and there's like,
I invite you to school.
Yeah, all right. I'll step into the mushrooms.
well, as soon as he sort of says, I invite you, you just see that same
Oh, cool.
same
Thing open up.
panorama sort of open up in
Oh,
front of
neat.
you.
I didn't have to give them my blood. That's sweet.
Yeah, didn't even have to make a deal with any kind of fake creature. Let's
had-
go into school.
I had some plans. for getting through that little puzzle.
Was it kill them? Was it use their own blood? Was it ring them out like one of those little yogurt tube things? Just like sort of rolling the last little bit out into the bowl.
I was gonna disguise myself as Itskizzle and demand entry.
That could have been an interesting attempt.
But it's fine. I'm just there now. It's cool.
But yeah. As you guys approach towards the gates, they sort of just open up in front of you, and yeah, it's just this hustle and bustle of students going backwards and forwards.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
More than probably a greater proportion of sort of elves and satyrs and that sort of. There's the more fey sort of style people.
I
What
have
you
this
saying about
image
halflings?
of everybody there wearing like warm greens and browns and like being a very natural thing, and Leland is walking through wearing like black, like he's like the goth on like the preppy campus.
You are just the goth kid at school.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
I'm sure they have a library.
just find the pipe shed and just get stoned behind it. Fine.
I'm sure you won't be the
Which is
only
basically
one.
just most of the school, because it is, at the end of the day, it's a university. Yeah. So you've got all around you. You see, like, there's just large
Back
buildings that
to
are made
school.
of sort of
Back to
naturally grown classrooms.
Yes.
All sort of surrounding a large clearing area that's sort of punctuated by that large clock tower oak tree. And again, like
With
the
the
four hands. Some of them moving clockwise, some of them moving counterclockwise. It's a whole deal.
Cool.
And sort of stepping into the middle of the quad, I guess.
Looking around and
You see
Vice Zitskill.
Vice Chancellor
Zitskill.
Zitskill.
Chancellor.
Sort of, and he's just like stepping forward and just like, well, took your time.
You may have noticed I'm a little slow with things.
That's definitely an apt use of words.
I'm not normally the thinker.
So,
Hi.
you made it at least.
Thank you. What happens now?
Well, I guess you need to choose your school within the school.
Excellent. What are the schools?
Well,
Is there a pamphlet, a brochure?
it's just a pledge week essentially.
So there's different tents set up when everyone's trying to get you into their kappa.
Okay. Well, first of all, what sort of style do you lean towards?
In response to that, I am going to use, where is my damn thingy? My last bardic inspiration to take on the mantle of inspiration,
Uh-huh.
just to, which is that whole, take on a wondrous appearance,
Yep.
and then Leland and Zitskill can get the bonus hit points and free advance if they wish to make an immediate advance up to your full speed.
I'll do that.
It's like, woo!
And
So is this you wanting
you
to
get
say
8
that you're...
temporary hit points.
Is this saying you're wanting to inspire people? Or would you prefer to be one of the ones that... men's ills? Or would you be one of the... do you prefer a style of manipulating minds and emotions?
No.
Let's just keep a finger in that manipulating minds thing. Just we'll maybe circle back to it later.
I mean, if you have any books for the powerful wizard, I'm sure he'll be interested. But
And he sort of slowly turns over to you as like, I've got a whole sort of death metal vibe coming from you.
Got more shoegaze thing going on, I think.
I already have a college.
Oh yes, of course.
Which was
But
at a while.
in which, yeah, you're the College of
Glamour.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, that's why
the
you're here.
thing. Yeah. Oh,
But
there are subsets.
it depends your flavour.
Oh gosh.
Jews.
Mending.
How very sort of altruistic? No, that's not the right word I'm looking for.
That could be altruistic.
Compassionate.
Yes, compassionate.
I mean, he's always getting injured.
Well, you-
Sometimes by you. Jackass.
Minor details. Minor details. Continue. Sorry. Minor details. Ignore him.
That's going to be difficult. He does kind of stand out.
He'll learn to eventually.
But you're saying that you would prefer to be the side of compassion, the heal the ills of the world and your companions,
Yes.
rather than calming their emotions or suppressing ill will. I also see the flashy style that you're performing right now. And you've got this whole sort of glow about you at the moment. You are just, you are
Well, when you're in
beaming.
the Fey realm, come on.
Roll me perception, by the way, Mr. Leland.
17.
As you're standing there and Poppets talking with Vice Chancellor, you're sort of looking around because you're feeling a little third wheelish at this point.
Yeah.
Sounds bad.
And you see there's this every now and then there's a couple of people that are talking with each other and sort of looking in your guys' direction, more specifically you, and just whenever you sort of look in their direction, they sort of make a show of not looking in your direction.
Sus.
Eldritch Blast.
Hmm?
Eldritch Blast.
Ways to make friends and influence people by Eldritch blasting.
But I mean,
Fireball.
calming emotions can be part of healing someone.
Well, I guess that'll be our first test. Well, second test. You got in here. That's the first test.
Oh, thank goodness.
I have a
Master,
thing.
yes.
Just quickly, after noticing that susness, I will switch on my detect magic, and just to see what extent the illusion magic is around this place.
Most of the illusion is sort of broken by the fact that you're now within what was being masked by the illusion.
Okay.
That you get the sensation that the fact that you couldn't see the school, that was the illusion.
Right.
And whatever that spell was also sort of just making you feel like you're walking in straight lines, but you're walking a pretty clear arc.
Okay. But it's
And,
not like all of these people are illusions and this place is an illusion and we're actually standing over a pit of spikes. It's not one of those deals.
Not spikes, it's entire holes full of spiders. This is why I had to get rid of Hana, because this is
Yeah, no, just get a,
Be
get a,
like,
get a white
just
on
dive
for it.
right in. But no, you do spot a couple of people that are using magic to either disguise or beautify themselves, because this place has got a particular style about it, and if you're not quite on there,
Yeah.
this is magic makeup time.
Leland respects that. Leland pulls that trick himself more often than you'd realise. More often they're illusory pants, but whatever.
He's actually just free in the wind.
Thing to know about Leland is he's always actually naked.
Everyone's always actually naked.
Yeah. Oh no. It's that dream again. Okay.
Yes.
The Vice Chancellor sort of turns around to you and is like,
Finger
Master
guns.
Leland, if you don't mind, and he sort of holds a hand out.
Oh,
and sort of,
please, you don't need to call me master.
just puts a hand
My
on
father was Master Leland.
puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, I need you to come with me for a moment.
Oh, good.
And you just sort of feel like your ears pop, like when you've got quickly gone up or downhill.
Bye.
And you
Bye,
just sort of
Felicia.
see the Chancellor and Leland just disappear out of space.
He does that.
And then the Chancellor's also just back in. It's like, so you have, by my reckoning, and he sort of looks down at his wrist, realizes he's not wearing a watch, looks up at the
Clock.
up at the watchtower, because I don't know why, and is like, by my reckoning, you've got about 30 minutes before your friend expires.
Makes sense. Where is he?
Well, that would be talking out of school, I guess.
Remember when I said I wasn't good at the thinking side of things?
Leland,
Hi.
roll perception.
Motherfucking Fey Realms. I got a 17.
17.
Fucking elves and their bullshit.
This was a tiefling.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it wasn't anything else. Anything terribly, terribly sus.
So you're about to die.
Okay.
30 minutes away from dying. That's better than usual. Sorry, that was...
You are suspended by your hands that are like sort of tied up together, and you are hanging from just something that you cannot sort of like perceive above you.
Sexy.
In there.
Looking down below, you see like a pair of these well, they look like large dogs, just like circling around below you. Mm-hmm. I say they look a little bit like large dogs, but when you stop and actually sort of look at a little bit more closely, the faces are off. They're rather than like the elongated muzzle or anything like that, they're a lot more human-esque. A very wide mouth still, but they've still got the flattened proportions of a human face, but still hair, like the same sort of fur, but it's just basically like you... Oh. Something like that.
I hate it. I hate it, Ryan. Ryan, I hate it. Do I have my stuff?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm attached. Like, what's the space I'm in?
Okay, so the pit is about 15 feet.
Oh, sorry. Before I take in my surroundings, motherfuckers! I'm burning this whole fucking forest down. You hear me? You haven't seen what I can do to trees.
So yeah, you're suspended over top of a pit. You're still sort of at the point where you're about ground. You're above ground level, but the pit sort of extends below that. These two creatures. The pit's about 20 foot wide, about 20 foot deep at its deepest point.
Yep.
And you're suspended
Above the pit.
above the pit.
Okay.
So if you drop, you'll be dropping about 20 feet.
Okay. But there's not like walls to the side of me per se. I'm just sort of, there's a hole in the floor and where I'm positioned is above the hole sort of thing.
Yep.
Are there walls in that space above the pit?
You've got, what's your distance of your dark vision?
Oh, it's good. It's a good distance.
It's a good distance, but is it a great distance?
Yeah. I think it's pretty great. Racial traits. 60 feet.
Okay. At the sort of limits of it, you can sort of make out like the sort of earthen walls,
Yeah, right.
and it's particularly dark.
Okay. Is there a ceiling above me?
Assumably,
But is it like it's like this rope is dangling like a long distance into a ceiling, or can I swing?
you can try.
I want to try and swing towards a wall.
Yep. Okay. Give me athletics.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh god. So you start sort of like swinging a little bit, and then you start getting like the wobbles going. Like you're not quite getting the rhythm right to actually get a good swing back and forth. But yeah, there's fun microphone stuff.
That's good.
And you sort of just get a little bit out of sequence to the point where you start like jarring your shoulders every time you try and swing forward. So you're getting more of a wobble going than a good swing going.
All right.
Poppet.
Yeah.
Hi.
30 minutes on the clock.
So I'm confused how this uses instruments.
It's not just about the music.
I have no spells that do anything in this situation.
I'm sure you can do something.
I can attack people.
Fucking punch people till they tell you where I am.
I have a lot of combat.
Go with your gut. Throw your gut at people.
He goes and gets lunch.
I'll just,
I listened to my gut and it was full of shit.
I'm starting to think my gut has shit for brains. Hey.
Okay.
I'm just checking which spells. I'm not sure whether I can like cast like.
Oh, how many of them have somatic
Yeah.
aspects to them?
Yeah.
Most of them?
I found one that doesn't have that only has verbal components. It's a good one too.
I'm intrigued.
Dimension Door only has verbal components,
That's a solution.
which is probably the good one right
That's
now.
a very good one.
Come on. You can try talking to the guy who just delivered your ultimatum, though. It's probably the first step.
Well, he...
Tick-tock it, Poppets.
I don't know where to start.
At the beginning. It's a very good place to start.
This is the beginning. It literally just happened right here. So this was the beginning. Where did you take him?
To the pit.
Where's the pit?
Where's the challenge?
Punch him till he tells you what you want to know.
I mean, the way I see it, you've just attacked my friend. And now he's threatening his life.
You're here to learn a lesson. Unless, of course, you're free to go.
Except, of course, he's still in the pit.
Yeah, I said you're free to go.
Gonna murder every fucking musician in this place.
Okay. I'm going to take out the Kenneth mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay. That lets you detect things, doesn't it?
No.
Or is it just disadvantage for attacks?
Creatures of the chosen types, which are aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead, have disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
So
I
which
can't
ones
be
you-
charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. That's it.
Charmed, frightened, possessed.
Yes.
Okay. Which two are you
They have
picking?
disadvantage on me.
Let me guess. Like Abyssal and Fiend.
No, this doesn't say it's a choice.
Oh, you just get to get.
Yeah.
I thought you had.
Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae,
Okay,
fiends,
I thought you had
and
to pick a
undead.
couple.
No.
All right.
It's a ranger thing.
That's right. Yeah.
So for the next 10 minutes...
Yep.
At least I have some slight protection here.
Okay. Leland.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Been better.
Yep.
Hello? Is anyone here? About you dog things. Can you talk? Your faces.
Roll with perception. Puppet.
Oh god. 10.
You hear Leland's voice just sort of echoing all the way around the quad, just basically saying, "What did you say? Hello,
Hello.
anyone here? Are you dog things? Something? I forget what the rest.
You have faces.
You have faces.
So it's just echoing around.
Yep.
It can't be pinpointed.
Poppet, your new friends are dicks.
I know.
Do I hear that?
Yes.
I'm assuming you need to see me to use the...
There's a... Hold on.
Hold, please.
Hold, please. Oh, it does have to be someone I can see.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so.
You can do it to one of the dogs.
I will telepathically speak to the dog. It understands at least one language. Sup, dog?
That you speak, or is just it has to be able to
it has
understand?
to speak a language.
Sup? Did you say sup, dog?
I did. What's going on?
It just sort of continues sort of circling around.
You know, I heard that other dog monster talking shit about you earlier. Said something about your mother. It was terrible. It was terribly terrible. I can't understand them back, but they can understand me.
One of them sort of stops for a second, and then starts again. Just like, and every now and then, sort of looking up at you, and just like growling slightly. And there's a little bit like saliva, like coming out of the one side of the jaw. There's a couple of like pronounced teeth in the lower jaw.
I mean, I get it. I get it. That's a horrible like thing, but I'm just telling you what I heard that other dog monster saying. It's like this is what I think. I think she's a wonderful lady.
Roll me perception, Poppet. Are you saying that in telepathic?
28.
Or... Okay. Alright, cool.
This is telepathically to the dog.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, perception 22. Sorry.
22?
What's
Okay. You sort of a little bit of a not a panic, but it's sort of like trying to get your bearings. You're
Yes.
looking around, and what you do notice is like what was a busy quad now is basically just like an ever increasing thickness of just like a wall of people all the way around you that have all just like stopped and just created this ring around you and the vice chancellor, and just they're all sort of like, some of them are holding like books against their chest, other ones have got like different musical instruments like slung over shoulders or in bags by the sides, but they're all gathering in a big circle of,
Yes.
about 20 foot wide, just like this big circle all the way around you, just watching what's going on.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming someone here knows where the bloody pit is. So I will play a flute and do an enthralling performance. I can choose 3 creatures.
What's up?
No, it's I'm kidnapped and in a death trap, and you're gonna play a fucking song. It's great.
It's gonna go fucking all
Well, I don't know. I love it.
It's all fucking HR Puffin stuff right here. It's all fucking dangerous, and there's a magic flute.
Zit skill, and then 2 of the audience members that don't look fey,
Okay.
just in case they're...
And there's some
About
sort of
being
resist.
charmed. Yeah. I assume I'm still doing a performance anyway, but it's a DC of enthralling performance is 15.
The Vice Chancellor rolled a 20. Natural 20.
That's stupid.
18 for the second one. And 9 on the third. So
Okay. So, after playing my flute, and definitely not enthralling anyone,
Well, you got one.
just yelling out, does anyone know where the pit is? I'm assuming I don't sense if it's worked on people.
What's the actual thing? Is a charm effect, is it?
A charm effect. I assume so. It's like fey magic. Yeah, charm. Will be charmed by you. While charming this way, the target idolizes you. It speaks glowingly of you to one who talks to it, and it hinders anyone who opposes you, although it avoids violence unless it was already inclined to fight on your behalf.
Okay. Just from the...
Ends after 1 hour or unless damage or attack.
Yeah, there's one of those... some person in the crowd is like, no, man, you got this. You'll find the pit.
Yeah, where is it?
You got this. You'll get there. I trust. We all believe in you. We're all here for you.
I doubt it. But okay, that didn't work.
The Chancellor is just sort of like walking around and around you, just sort of watching what you do.
I mean, if they're not going to answer me, I'll just
Leland?
bloody attack them.
I think that's a good idea. Do I look like I'm getting anywhere with the monster dogs?
Every now and then, one sort of just stops and is like, well, not stops, but looks up at you, and as it's circling around, it's definitely sort of, it's definitely hearing you.
Yep.
You get that just with that. You're like, you know it's understanding you. You know that means it understands a language. So you are being heard.
So, like objectively trying to persuade this one into attacking the other one.
Yep.
Do you want me to just roll a dice for that and then fill something in for that sort of business?
How would you be doing this with some sort of persuasion, like just straight up persuasion, or okay,
Persuade it, like just by talking and like now sort of saying, I can see, I've seen dog monsters like you before. That one, that other one is definitely going to try and steal your food.
Yep.
And hoard it for itself and not share anything with you. And
Right.
like
roll it.
it's +9. I got an 18.
Okay, as you're sort of you're talking this out to the thing, you sort of see it sort of like pause for a moment and then sort of look over at the other hound, and you hear like this. It sort of stops and like howls this horrid. It's not a wolf howl. It's not a dog howl. It sounds like the sound of a herd of creatures dying horribly.
Like a goat.
More pained.
Alright.
If you can roll me a DC 13 wisdom save.
Oh no. Wait, I have a pretty good wisdom save.
I figured you would.
I got a 15.
You're good. But that's a chilling sound.
Ugh. So not a chill sound.
Not chill, chilling.
It's the opposite of chill.
Alright, Poppet.
So when Zitskill is on the side opposite of the person who actually answered me, the only person I actually got, I'm gonna throw a Thunderwave at him.
Okay.
Which is
As
gonna
you-
hit
as
that
you
whole
sort of-
crowd of people.
Sorry. Okay. As he's sort of like pacing around
gonna
you,
watch
and the
there
guy
in the
that's
fire
as,
at
as the guy's like shouting out support, he just like shoots him a glance. Is like, no, you, quiet. Let the new recruit, the new student, the new pledge do their trial by themselves. You will not interrupt. Sorry, what do you want to do?
Thunderwave him.
Thunderwave him.
Yes.
All right.
And that
Fuck him
whole
up.
crowd of people. Because they're all gonna get pushed.
Okay.
Cast.
I like the image of you playing, like tooling around on a flute and just like hitting a note that just is like a shockwave come out of it.
Con 17 saving throw for all of these people.
Toodly doo doo doo. Warm.
Okay, so the vice chancellor made it, so it's going to take part damage.
4 damage.
And then it'll say in the cone that you've
Yep.
in the
Cube.
the cube. Okay, in the area of effect that you're doing, roughly half of them failed.
Yep. Half of them take 8 damage, the rest take 4.
All right,
And the ones that failed get pushed into the people behind them, essentially.
you sort of see like a whole bunch of people just like essentially like crumble over. It's
There's also a boom.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I hit the boom note.
Which you hear.
And I am familiar.
It's like echoing all around you. It's like it's amplified all the way around you. to the point like you hear this like, and even like a part of the wall of this pit just like cracks and crumbles slightly.
I mean, that sounds like
That's helpful.
Like the beginning of the rolling initiative right now. You just attacked somebody.
I attacked a whole school of people.
You're probably gonna have a fight now.
And the Chancellor's just sort of like rubbing a finger inside one of his ears. Is like, interesting approach.
So it's the
I
pit.
didn't pick you as a percussionist.
So where's the pit?
That's a good line.
Everyone around, where's the pit?
You can find the pit. There's your happy friend is just like, you can find the pit. Just look for the pit. You'll find it. You'll find your friend.
That sounds like work. No, I'm...
Motherfucker.
Okay, I dart through the crowd. As long as they're bigger than me, I'm a halfling, I can go through their spaces.
Yep.
I bolt.
Okay. Back in the dark space.
Yep.
You sort of see these two dogs still sort of circling around. The part of the pit wall has crumbled slightly. At one point, one of the dogs sort of like lunges at the other one. Just like two dogs sort of scrapping. It's not like an aggressive attack, but it's enough to like sort of asserting dominance. And the other one sort of like cowers slightly, and
Which was the one I was talking to?
the one that's just done the attack.
Okay.
The other one is like cowers slightly, sort of shows like obeisance, and then scampers quickly off one side, and then sort of scrambles through that sort of rubble on the pit wall, and bolts.
I'm essentially running around the campus
Okay.
as fast as I can run.
You take a look at the clock, and for your estimations, you've got about 20 minutes left. 10 minutes have passed.
Okay. That means my spell's worn off.
Yep. You feel like a distinct feeling, like you just like feel a little bit weaker. The mantle has expired, so your extra points are gone.
Oh, no, sorry. The protection spell was 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, the mantle's an hour, isn't it?
The mantle's, I think, till the rest. Or till something.
You were fine. I thought this thing lasted 10 minutes, but apparently you're good until you're dead.
I feel pretty good.
I mean, what?
Huh?
I mean, you're fine.
What?
You hear the sound of like, it sounds like a clock hitting a certain certain mark, like that solid like click, and you feel like the whole rope just like give about 10 feet, like really quickly, and then like jerk you.
Right.
So
So now I'm in the pit?
your head is below the level of the pit.
Okay. How far away is the sides of the pit from where I am right now?
10 feet each side.
Okay. Now I'm going to try and swing to the side of the pit again.
Yep. Roll with another athletics if you could. Okay. As you're wandering around running around the campus, you hear sort of like this from the clock tower, like this audible click, and for a second you hear what sounds like a flock of birds taking off quickly. This is like the
Yep. Did they come from the clock tower, or
you roll with perception.
I can re-roll that? I can't re-roll that.
You can't. You don't even know where the birds are. You don't spot where the birds are. Like,
Yeah.
I can't help ones.
No,
Nope.
that's fine.
There's literally like 4 runs in a row, 2 each.
I run to the clock tower
All right.
to
You can get out of this
investigate
fairly
that.
easily if I just swing over to the side of the thing, right? Yep. Cool. Leland sucks at this.
All right. What are you doing at the clock tower?
I just want to investigate if there's a pit.
All right. So you're looking at this thing. It's a mighty oak with a clock face that's sort of been built into the oak, and we're talking probably about 30 something feet up in the air is where the clock part is. Other than that, it's like a big hefty trunk leading up into the leading up into the sky. There's a couple of the classrooms sort of things that have just been grown onto the side of this. That'd be the best way of describing this place.
Can I find any way down?
Down.
If it's a pit.
Oh,
I'm
sure,
assuming
yeah,
a pit
yeah.
is down.
Yeah, you're gonna go for an investigation.
That's my good start. 20. I rolled a 19.
Looking around, around the clock tower, you don't sort of see any
No.
sign of
That's worth a shot.
like stairs heading downwards or anything like that. Everything seems to be well above ground.
I asked the clock tower if it knows where the pit is. I don't know.
This is like one of those the old LucasArts adventure games where you just like try every option as you're going through until you combine rubber chicken with ipecac
Can't
syrup.
put handle on door.
It's like, but what?
Use handle on door.
I assume nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. You're talking to a wooden clock on a wooden tree.
The last tree talked back.
True. I guess I can't be shitty about that one. That is a solid point. Okay. Mr. Leland,
Hi.
you sort of slung over the top of this thing, you see the remaining hound sort of circle, and then sort of like it backs a couple of paces backwards, and then sort of runs and tries to jump at you. 18 to hit.
I have a 14.
It's going to do that. It does 7 damage as it sort of like just like claws at you as it flies past.
How many temporary hit points did I get before?
8.
And you just sort of start like swinging ever so slightly.
Ooh. So that hit my temporary hit points. What I'm trying to do is like extend out my feet
Uh-huh.
or one of my foot or something, or use that and try and get a foot onto the wall.
Basically, at this point, if you want to try the athletics check again, this time you've already got some momentum going, so give it with your advantage.
That would help if... Okay, what's my athletics? +0. So I got a 12.
12. You start like actually getting a swinging action going.
Okay. Can I get a foot on the wall?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Okay. As soon as my foot touches the wall, I will activate my cloak of Arachnida. Start
like,
walking up the side.
Yep.
So it's not like I just need to get a foot onto the wall, and now I'm attached to it, and then I'm walking up out of the pit. And then, like, once I sort of get over the edge of it, and I've got some slack on the rope,
Yep.
I'll reach to my belt and pull out my dagger
Yep.
and cut those ropes. Get Roderick out
Yep.
and shoot that fucking dog.
Okay. You you sort of see the dog sort of like you fire Eldritch Blast, is it?
Yeah.
The dog sort of like steps backwards slightly and just like back on 2 legs
Oh.
and just like moves a hand like quickly like this, and the Eldritch Blast just like fizzles.
That's not supposed to happen. Can I, like, Arcana check what that fucking thing is?
You
Is
can
that-
try. Poppet, can you give me a
No, I can't. Roll a 2.
perception check?
No, I can't. That's a 13.
13. No, you
That's
are
pretty good.
You see, like, because you've been looking around for this bird
Yes.
sound that you heard. all of a sudden, just appearing out of nowhere, you sort of see this rope made of vine just appear, sort of dangling over the middle of the quad.
That
Like it's
seems
attached to
curious.
some of the the overhanging like large tree branches that come across the top of the quad. And the end of it is just like hanging loose and just like swaying away.
You're probably exactly where we were staying before. I'm just going to cast a fly on myself and fly up to the rope, and then fly down.
Okay.
And see if there's anything around there.
Okay. So you fly up to basically where you find the rope and just start
hanging there.
following it down.
Yes.
Uh,
That's something new that wasn't there before. I'll take whatever he gives me.
Leland,
Hi.
give me a perception.
I'm rolling great today. That's a 9.
9. You briefly just like just a hint of light above.
I'll use detect magic.
Uh-huh.
What do I see? How much illusion is going on in this?
Oh, so much illusion.
So much illusion.
So much illusion.
Yep.
To the point where you're sort of now just standing in part of a crowd
Cool.
that's standing in a circle. Some of the crowd is sort of like just like tumbled over and they're like gathering themselves back up. Some of them like picking up the books and everything that they've got. A couple of like nursing a couple of wounds there, but you're standing amongst a crowd.
Okay. So, like, now that I see it's an illusion, it's gone, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna not let on that I've done that thing,
Yep.
but I'm like, this is gonna be a performance, I would think. But I'm still brandishing Roderick.
Yep.
Pretending like I'm still like lost in whatever the fuck is going on.
Yep.
And just like pretend like I'm taking in the surroundings of this place. And when I see the tiefling motherfucker,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast a spell at his horned face.
Yep.
Horned face.
And what spell would that be? Because
I want to be a good one.
meanwhile, you're coming down the this rope, and
Mystery rope.
as you're climbing down, you sort of feel the sensation of like darkness start to surround you, and
Thank God.
you come down into this. Essentially, the area around you just turns into this darkened area with a deep pit
Yes.
around
Hey, it's a pit.
down below you, and off on one side with like this cut off rope near his feet at this point, with Roderick brandished, is Leland, and he is looking down at this sort of. I'll show you the picture now because I don't think I showed you before. That's the hound we're talking about, and I think I described
Charming.
it relatively well.
Yes.
And that is just like
Flat face.
circling around in the in this pit, and Leland is lining Roderick up against this thing.
Oh, he's fine. He's a powerful wizard. Hey. I hate this place. Let's go home.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We're
I'm gonna murder that tiefling first before we
they're
go there.
not getting 5 stars on Yelp.
No. Just quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
You do you, man.
a 20-foot bubble. What's a 20-foot bubble going to look like in this particular place? How many
It's a big ball.
of the like innocent civilians is that going to?
Well, if you cast it around the center, it's just going to be
All right.
the center because it's a 20-foot wide.
Am I in that bubble though?
No.
All right. I want to put a 20-foot bubble.
Uh-huh.
Like making sure I get pretty much the whole student body, if that's possible. Specifically, I want to get it on the vice chancellor, though.
You can definitely do that.
Okay,
And you could
as many as possible.
essentially, if you want to get the chancellor and some of the student body, you're going to get the chancellor in half at best.
Well, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because Leland's pissed.
Yep.
Reasonably.
Nobody makes a fool out of Leland. I'm going to cast Synaptic Static.
All right.
It's a 20-foot bubble. Choose a point within range. The range is like 120 feet.
Yep. Sure.
Cause
It's in range.
psychic energy to explode there. Each creature in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make an intelligence saving throw. Intelligence score of 2 or lower can't be affected. Takes 8d6 psychic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Okay.
So
Roll that damage.
And sorry, I'm going to put some English on this one.
All
I
right.
feel like I did warn them that he was a powerful wizard.
I'm going to put 2 corruption points on this.
Oh, Leland's pissed.
Corrupt the entire Fey College.
So 2 corruption points. So that's an extra 2d6. How many d6s is it? Because it does other stuff as well.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
So what? So now it is. So now it's 10d6. Four. Six.
10.
No, I'm adding.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
12.
12. 18.
Stop that. 24.
24.
I love it.
27.
Go with God.
28.
28. 33.
34. 36.
36. So that's it. 36 points of damage to everybody in the bubble.
Okay. And
They
half
deserved it.
if they pass, or do they just avoid other stuff if they pass?
Half on a successful one.
Okay.
On a failed save, the target has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts that number rolled from all attack rolls and ability checks, as well as constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. Target makes this intelligence saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending. So they're all muddled if they failed the save.
Okay. So.
I'm imagining they're all like leaning over and clutching their brains.
Good.
What you see is like a whole bunch of.
I also need to do the corruption.
You see the chancellor sort of like hold his head, was like holding like that, and then like the rest of this illusion just like fades. You all of a sudden like you see that you are just back in the center of this quad. You also see that about 3/4 of the crowd just disappear into like essentially it looks like dandelion seeds on the wind. Just
It's like a recruitment video for a university where they show so many people going there, and it's like,
yeah.
There's no...
You see roughly another half of them sort of like stooped over in pain, like they've got the worst ice cream headache in their natural lives.
They deserve it.
And then decided to go for another drink of that good milkshake.
did any of them die from it?
We can hope.
There's a couple of people. There's one you can see. There's like a line of blood coming out of the ear. Several other ones have just got like burst capillaries in eyes and like looking like they're. A couple of them are like laid out on the ground. Like you have done some damage. The Chancellor is just like again like holding the head like in one hand, so it pulls the hand away and just like the whole eye is just like vicious red, and on a tiefling that's saying something.
Yeah.
But it's just like looking over at you with like a cocked eyebrows, is like, and then sort of peers over at Poppet, who was just hovering, I think, about 10.
So we were talking about healing.
It's like, well, I guess now's to see what you've got.
Yes, I'll heal my friend. Thank you. I cure wounds. Leland.
I'm not actually hurt right now.
Your temporary hit... Oh, I can't cure temporary hit points,
Nope.
can I? Huh. Whatevs. I can still do the magic.
I'm
It's just a wasted spell.
Okay. I'm not really sure what you're doing.
Well, I mean, I cut my hand. I can heal myself.
You can.
Because I haven't done that yet. So I'm assuming I took some damage, when I?
I'm not really sure what you're trying to prove to this motherfucker right now.
Healing magic, and then off we go. So I just level 1 cure wounds myself.
All right.
Just to heal my hand.
And nothing for the innocent bystanders?
No, I think they learned a lesson.
Can I?
Oh boy.
Those corruption points.
Oh yes, that's
Do you want to do those just now? Because
Yes,
I
please.
have plans for them.
yes, please.
Hold on. I need to check how that works.
It's been a while.
I mean, he said this was about learning a lesson.
Boy howdy.
But I'll show him how my hands are
Okay,
healed up.
I got to make a D20 con save.
Yep.
No. Roll a D4 to determine what table. Okay,
Yep.
so it's 2D4s.
Yep.
So do you want me to just do one of them and then do the other one, or
Yeah.
so it's 3?
Yep.
And then it is a D100, right?
Yes, please.
62.
Just
This
look.
could be bad.
Does this affect you or the other people?
This affects me.
Okay, so I could still heal you, unless it's not a physical damage thing.
I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You'll be fine. We'll get you home.
I
Get you some nice,
I may fall over.
get you a nice cup of tea.
I may just. Yeah, something bad may happen.
Okay, so what was the D100?
62.
62.
It's okay, we're not far from home.
Can you roll me a D100 again?
75.
You are sitting there, and you can all around you. You can hear the sounds of people that are injured and like screaming out in pain and so forth. And you can hear Poppet basically just doing his best
Scold.
best scolding of a tiefling, and then just nothing. You cannot hear anything. It's like you've got the world's biggest earmuffs over. You are deafened.
Honestly, this doesn't seem so bad.
Ma.
Uh,
The second one?
yes, please.
It's a 2
Yep.
on the D4.
And the D100.
77.
77. Why do you always roll this one?
Look, man.
Amnesia?
I don't know what to tell you. Do I have a craving for Werven Guts?
You got a craving for Werven Guts. You literally character experiences an overpowering urge to eat something strange.
Look, man. I think he just.
hey, you're in the right
I
place.
think that one is just him reasserting. I think he just likes it.
At this point now, it's just his thing. It's just his kink.
So
you're in the
Leland's
right-
not unfamiliar with these things. He can recognize them for what they are when they happen now, right?
Yep.
Unless it's like an amnesia thing, I'm thinking he at least he knows that this is what he's getting.
Yep.
So he's not that freaked out by it,
Yep.
and he can't hear himself talking.
So he's just talking a bit louder.
Maybe actually, no. He did the spell, and this has sort of happened to him, and he's not really catching what's going on between you and the Vice Chancellor. He will telepathically talk to the Vice Chancellor.
Probably shouting.
Well, no, that's one. Telepathically, it's
Still.
not going to be shouting. And he's saying, "I'm just going to leave you with a little something to remember me by." And he pushes both those corruption points into the Vice Chancellor.
Okay.
Because fuck that guy.
Reasonable.
So I roll a d6
Yep.
per point purged.
Yep.
So on a 1, okay, 4, no effect, and a 4, no effect. So no effect for either of them.
So there's no effect to you on either
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
So it's just the
So now they roll a d20 con save,
nope.
and they take a d10 per point purged. It's only 8 damage, but now
Still.
they've got corruption in them.
All right. Well, they're not good ones. They're not good ones at all.
And I'm not deaf anymore.
No.
Hey, you can hear me scolding him. Think hands on hips.
Yeah, he might not hear you anymore.
I'm trying to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, I think I did that though.
Okay, can we go home now?
Sorry. So like this is somebody tried to use Leland as a bait in a trap, and it got mad.
That's Yeah.
Okay, what you see is that purging black mist that you exude when this happens seeps into like his eyes and mouth and ears and basically every potential way, like soaks in through his pores and everything, and you can see them sort of like cloud in around his pupils and eyes, and then all his eyes, like the sclera and the pupil and the iris, all just go this one black, and he's just like holding his hands in front of his eyes and just like moving them like this, and just like wildly waving in front of them, and just got this panic look on his face. What was the other one? I'll re-roll this because I don't remember what I rolled the second one.
That's what you get for fucking with me. Didn't even feel bad about it this time. I mean, what?
This time?
What? Nothing.
And you also see him as it's like he just starts like shouting. He's like, "I can't see!" And then you see like his tongue getting that same sort of blackening. It like blackens and desiccates and shrinks up, and he's just like, "I can't see." So at this point here, he can't see and he can't speak.
That worked.
All right. Let there be a lesson to the rest of you. Don't fuck with wizards.
How do we leave?
At this point here, the crowd has just gone from like amusement at the fact that the usual sort of hazing of a potential new
Hi.
I
brought my
scholarship
wizard.
student has gone to a pretty violent attack on the Vice Chancellor, and panic has broken out. There are people running every which way. You just you see like some people like knocking into each other, bowling each other over. You see a couple of the trees around the edge of the things just sort of actually start marching into the middle of the quad and trying to sort of like essentially pick up the pieces. Just like slowly reaching out and like plucking people up and like standing them back up on their feet. They're trying to basically.
The trees are nice.
We should get out of here.
We should. How do we leave?
Do the panicking people seem to be filtering in any particular direction?
Every direction simultaneously. It's an actual panic.
Can you like get one of them? I'm sorry. No? Okay. Leyline?
Yeah, let's get somewhere like out of here and Leyline out of here.
Yeah, let's go to the gate.
Roll me perception while you're sort of looking around.
7.
You see the Vice Chancellor sort of like drop down to his hands and knees and sort of like facing down the ground. He's just sort of like coughing and lurching and just like trying to like do anything to try and get his voice back. And just this vicious like pitch-like blackness just starts pouring out of his mouth and onto the ground, and you can see it sort of like hit the ground and just start moving across the ground like spider webs or some sort of like it's just basically like spider webbing or electrical charge moving across the ground, just like spreading out further and further, just like the like every like vibrant color and every like
I think you're
every
making
essence-
someone happy.
every essence of like Fae in this area is just like everything it touches just goes black, wilts, and just sort of melts into this almost like bubbling pool of like tar that's spreading out from the center.
That seems bad.
Tieflings.
I didn't really mean to do that. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's get out of here.
Tieflings, man.
Tieflings, man. What are you going to do?
Let's walk merrily out the gate.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Let's
not
get the fuck out of here.
Not merrily per
I'm like-
se, but
I don't like that at all.
No, none of that.
None of that.
No.
if anyone asks, we had a lovely walk in the temple gardens at Freya's, and then we went home.
If anyone asks, I just did some like bad magic to that clearly evil tiefling. Clearly.
These are like tendrils of like black spider webbing, just like spreading out quickly, like hitting. One of them gets to the base of one of the ents that are the tree ents that are like clearing up, and like starts like twisting up around the side of that, and like this thing is just like madly trying to pull its leg away as like the whole blackened trunk of one of its legs just like shrinks down and starts and turns into this. It almost looks like it's made of coal at this point. It like stiffens up and as this thing sort of spreads up into its torso, stiffens up and hardens, and then it like falls forward and like shatters into like chunks of coal and coal dust.
That's
I
bad.
feel like your old one's antithetical to the Fey realm.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
The tendrils are heading out to each of the buildings, and as soon as it hits them, it sort of like winds up through all the sort of foundations and structural section, hits the sort of thatch roof, and there's this blackened, just like pitch black flame across the roofs of each of these thatched buildings. Like there is nothing, no light coming off it. It is flame made of void.
I'm picturing this nightmare scene that you're describing, and Leland and Poppet just going, "All right," turning around and walking away from it.
You're making your way towards
Hey, they want
the
the
gate,
lesson.
and this void fire, for a lack of a better term, is just like already engulfing all the archway across the top. The one of the two gates has already like fallen over, and he's just sort of stepping on through it. Little clusters of these toadstools and mushrooms that you're going through, as the corruption reaches end, they just are like popping like zits and boils into this black and oily pustules, and this is like, and then just willowing down. The whole invisibility effect on that on the Guardian Circle that has faded, and this little guy here is just like hands and knees, just like vomiting violently on the ground, and then sort of just collapses down into a pile of his own fluids.
At least you don't have to pay him back.
I mean, if we ever come back, I do, but you know.
Yeah, I imagine his fee might be a little different next time.
We already had
Heading out of the clearing, the grass has been replaced with just like fields of fire. The roving grazing cattle are now a stampede that are just basically like as they go along, they're just leaving a trail of essentially themselves behind, and so as they're going on, they're getting smaller, and the older and the weaker are just like collapsing down and just like into this.
You're making me feel really bad about this right now,
Hey,
Ryan.
he created this.
It was a beautiful, wondrous paradise, and like Leland single-handedly destroyed it utterly and horrifically, and I feel
You're
really
a powerful
bad.
wizard.
Now I feel really bad. Thank you.
You'll be notorious through the realms as a powerful wizard.
I destroyed this little Fey realm right here, like with a click of his fingers, for just petty dumb shit reasons as well. It wasn't even like
It
good.
wasn't petty. They mistreated you. They mistreated both of us.
Yeah. How do we get out of here?
That's my question.
Leyline?
Oh, yeah, it's ley line.
Can we try it? Can
Yeah.
we feel out the ley line?
Yeah, you can feel out a ley line. You've basically got you are casting a ley line inside a burning building, essentially.
If it gets us out.
Have you got your flying carpet on you?
No, Hannah keeps it in the bag.
Cool.
The pause. Cool.
Yeah, all right. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay.
All right.
We're going to attempt a ley line from the Fey realm into our realm.
Both of you just give me a combined Arcana check.
Combined.
Yeah, just give me the total of both your rolls.
18. Oh, with my Arcana?
Yes, please.
19.
11.
So 30.
Cool.
Pop out behind
We
rough guy's
we
desk.
like join hands and we're like fusion, and the gate opens.
Yeah, the gate opens up and you basically like quickly step through. Again, similar sensation that you're used to, is being pulled in all directions simultaneously. One vital difference that you've got over previous times is this time, as you're traveling through this ley line, you can feel that dark corruption zone following down this pathway.
Uh-oh.
Eventually, it sort of starts to lag and fall behind, like it's
Okay.
basically run out of steam behind you. But it got in.
No. Cool.
Whoops.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And I'm assuming you guys were ley lining to Heimdall's?
Rough
were you
guy's
going-
desk.
You guys...
Oh, why don't? Okay, is it possible to ley line to Freya's church where we came in?
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Back in the gardens?
yeah. I got something I got to do before we leave.
Okay. Into the gardens.
Okay. You guys, essentially,
How long were we gone for?
We were in the gardens this whole time. We
were-
definitely did.
you were only gone a minute. What?
Why'd you have to guess about the variable time? Because it's not a minute.
Oh,
Because, yeah, you guys pop out and the guard, it's middle of the day. It's heavily overcast. There is a good foot or so of snow across the ground.
I feel like we've missed something.
yeah, yeah. We were supposed to investigate like a murder that was being like buried like the next day, and we've been gone for an indeterminate amount of time.
Your guess would be somewhere between 3 and 5 weeks.
Oh, Roth guy isn't going to be happy.
I'm just gonna destroy this giant tree real quick.
Okay.
Fuck this particular tree.
I'm gonna cast blight on that tree.
Oh, you can actually do that thing, can't you? That's actually a thing that can happen.
I can literally do
Because this is one of those times of, is it a tree?
Is it a non-magical plant that isn't a creature,
Oh,
such as a tree or shrub?
okay. Yes.
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 It could be a magical tree.
Could be an ant.
I'm fairly certain that you did detect magic on it before, did you not?
I don't know.
I feel like you did. It's not
If
a magical.
you target a creature or a magical plant, it makes a saving throw with disadvantage. The spell deals maximum damage to it.
What
If
sort of a saving throw does a tree have?
I don't know.
What sort of a
A Constitution.
What constitution stat does a tree? 20?
If you target a non-magical plant that isn't a creature, such as a tree or shrub, it doesn't make a saving throw. It simply withers and dies. That's sort of what I want to happen right now.
Okay, I'm not rolling a con save because
Because it's a fucking tree.
it's a really old tree. It's probably the oldest tree in the land.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And
like
there's
that title's gonna move on to somebody else in a minute.
That was previously the second.
It's a
oldest
really
tree in
harsh
the land.
winter.
Yeah, I'm casting blight on the tree, just ostensibly so it can't follow us, but also because Leland's a petty dick and he's a little bit worried about the blight following us back through the tree that we went there in, and also fuck that tree. So what happens when I blight that tree?
Do you okay? So
Oh, so it's happening again. Leland just wants to watch the world turn to black things.
just
Again.
the you sort of reach out a hand in this. Well, I guess your eldritch power sort of.
This is the one that I used on that guy. We've said
Yeah.
generally like it's necromantic energy or necrotic energy, and yeah.
The the tree has already sort of lost its leaves for winter, but the branches that normally sort of look sort of strong even through the harsher times of winter, they start to like shrivel up and fragment, and a couple of branches like snap away just with the sodden rot of passing of time. And yeah, just basically just start like crashing down around the center of this thing.
I'm covering our Drax.
Inner trunk, the main trunk of this thing, just starts to like rot from the inside, and just just the smallest amount of like sodden rotten like tree core just starts seeping out of the base to the point where towards the top where it's most rotted. It just starts to collapse in on itself to the point where it becomes just a like 30-foot high wooden rotted chimney.
All right, job's done. I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Temple.
I'm not going to feel bad about a fucking tree. Let's get out of here.
Can we go home now?
Yeah, let's go home.
We trudge through the snow. It's been a long winter. They were weary and
make
tired.
your way back to the Heimdall Church. As you approach the front gates, you are, well, greeted with urgency by a couple of the guards. It's like, where the hell have you been? There has been search parties for weeks. Hana said something about going into a tree, and you guys have been gone. It's been 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, we were in a tree.
What does that even mean? What do you mean?
Look,
Magic?
it was fucking Fey Realm nonsense, man. I don't even.
You gotta go see the captain.
We're only gone like
A couple of hours?
Yeah, it was a couple of hours.
You gotta go see the captain, because between the captain and Brant, there has just been nothing but sheer panic at your guys' absence.
Okay. What happened to Hana? And that's a story for another time.
When we just do 6 sessions in a row of just Hana doing things, just sitting there in a room, just like, I don't know whether the guys, and they're sitting in a cell because they just assumed she killed you two and threw you guys in the river.
That's baller.
That's great, actually.
I can see
Don't
that.
listen to this episode yet, Goiter, because you're going to be a suspect in the murder.
We already executed it. Beans.
Yesterday.
Beans.
We just
no.
we just threw in the timer this morning. Oh wait, wrong river.
Well, time for a new city.
Well, well, this one's fucked. Alrighty. Well, that was fun.
That was cool.
Thank
Oh,
you.
gosh.
Thank you for entertaining me.
I destroyed a realm. I don't feel great about destroying a realm.
You
How many realms have you
brought the old one
destroyed?
to them. Well, I mean, I took you there.
You're complicit. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm an accomplice. Hey, I
Oh,
contributed.
Thank you for listening to Heimdall's Watch. If you have any questions, or, if you need us to, pick you up from the airport to help you move, you can contact us on email at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com. Or contact us at Isolated City Gaming on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or YouTube. And, or if you just want to talk,